Starfleet, the Age of the Lords. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26 Arrival at the Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress. After Al finished reporting, Feng Mo coughed lightly and said, "Boss Kui, both fleets have suffered varying degrees of damage this time. How about we share the gains from destroying the Hive mothership equally?" After hearing this, Kui Xiao was so happy that he opened his mouth from ear to ear and gave Feng Mo a thumbs up. The Rainbow Fard was a free slap. Even though his fleet also put in some effort this time, it would be impossible to completely annihilate the Hive mothership without the T3 interstellar aircraft carrier as a bait. Boss Kui lacked everything but self-awareness, so he was completely willing to Feng Mo's allocation. He also knew that Feng Mo was a kind person, so he said gratefully, "Commander, don't worry. If you have anything to do in the future, please feel free to contact us. If I, Kui Xiao, say a word of no, I will die." Seeing Boss Kui patting his chest and promising, Feng Mo didn't believe a word of it. This kind of player who has breasts is like a mother. It's okay to do small things, but forget about big things. But Feng Mo still agreed with a smile on his face. After the complete annihilation of the Zerg, the fleet did not encounter any problems in the next 3.5 days, and arrived at the Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress without any danger. The fleet has entered the military jurisdiction area. Please report everyone's information, fleet information and the purpose of your visit. Mechanical sounds sounded in the main control rooms of each starship. 3 minutes later, after Al reported the fleet information. The fleet information has been confirmed, from Viscount Feng Mo of the Yunshan Empire. The fleet size is 7 T3 starships, 5 T2 starships, and 7 T3 transport ships. Dear Viscount, welcome to Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress. Please anchor your fleet at 12 Hong Kong. The route to starport number 12 has been marked. Please pay attention, Lord Viscount, and the fleet should not deviate from the designated route. The fleet was steadily anchored at starport number 12. A large number of starships were parked here, the lowest being T3 level, and there were many T4 level behemoths. However, this time I was not lucky enough to see T5 level Imperial equipment. At this time, there was a group of officers waiting on the ground. The leader was a major. Feng Mo stepped off the starship with some regret. When the officer saw Feng Mo, he stepped forward to salute. A standard Star Sea Federation military salute. The left hand bent and hammered on the right chest. The whole army looked solemn and solemn. Feng Mo and others also saluted. "Welcome, Viscount Yunshan Empire, to the Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress. Please come to the staff headquarters. Staff Zhang wants to see you." After hearing this, Feng Mo understood clearly. The military department must have taken the matter reported to the Interstellar Zerg very seriously. This matter may be considered trivial or serious. The Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress is the first line of defense for the Star Sea Federation against the Interstellar Zerg. It is understandable that occasionally 1 or 2 Zerg Hive motherships will cross the Xuanwu Fortress, but this time there are 17 ships and they are T3 level. This is a major mistake of the fortress. The military department must give an explanation. It was obvious that Feng Mo's guess was right this time. At this time, there was already a huge commotion in the headquarters of the fortress. "Old Lee, let me tell you that this is the problem of your radar special warfare department. The fortress radar did not detect the whereabouts of any Hive motherships. You told me where the 17 T3 class Hive motherships came from. Did it fall from the sky?" At this time, in the headquarters, a senior colonel sitting on the left side of the square table stood up and took the lead in attacking the senior colonel sitting opposite with a serious face. "Fuck you. Our radar department is the one who takes the blame every time. Is your mobile force at fault? From Beshanman Space Station to Xuanwu Fortress, your mobile force is under the jurisdiction of the area. How do you patrol? I see it's just you bunch of bugs who work hard and don't work hard." This sentence seemed to have stirred up a hornet's nest. Many officers on the left stood up in response, while on the right, not to be outdone, They also stood up. No one was indulging the other. In the entire command center, except for the 3 general-level bosses at the head, many officers on the left and right were pushing the blame with each other. The 2 forces were quarreling, and some even slapped the table and cursed. Dong dong dong, come in. There was a knock on the door, and a signal soldier walked in. Report: Viscount Feng Mo of the Yunshan Empire successfully completed the escort mission and destroyed 17 T3 Hive motherships. Our carrier fleet suffered no casualties. The Viscount Feng Mo fleet has now arrived at starport number 12 of Xuanwu Fortress. After listening to the report, the middle one of the 3 general-level leaders coughed slightly, and the command headquarters became quiet for a moment. All the officers sat back in their positions, standing tall and straight, looking forward. First, the sudden appearance of 17 T3 class Hive motherships in the buffer channel from Beishanmen Space Station to Xuanwu Fortress is a mistake of the entire fortress. The boss's first sentence has determined the nature of the matter. It is the fault of the entire fortress, so you don't need to blame each other anymore, or there is no point in deliberately quarreling. Second, next, all departments will go back to investigate. I don't want this to happen again. If it happens again, After the boss said this, all the officers present looked more serious. Third, let's discuss how to compensate this little guy. The Viscount of the Yunshan Empire is still very important, and there is also the eldest son of the Earl in the fleet, the direct granddaughter of Lord Mo of the Meteor Star Empire. What's more, they are all Yunshan. It's not easy for students of the military academy to handle this. Even this big boss finds this kind of thing difficult to handle. Feng Mo and others are really too powerful, not to mention that there is another big boss who has not revealed his identity. That is Yu Xiaoming. This person's identity makes him, a lieutenant general of the Star-Sea Human Federation, find it difficult to deal with. If the compensation given this time is not substantial enough, I am afraid it will make people laugh to death. He already thought about the scene when many colleagues laughed at him when he went to the Federal Military Headquarters for a meeting at the end of the year. Thinking of this, the general-level boss glanced around and had an idea. He looked at the second officer on the left and said with a kind expression, "Commander Zhang, I heard that you are also an outstanding student who graduated from Yunshan Military Academy. In terms of college relationships, you are their senior. And in terms of social relationships, you are their fellow countrymen. I will leave this matter to you. I believe that Staff Zhang can definitely handle it. Get this done. Don't worry, I, Lao Zhu, am not a stingy person. As long as the compensation is not excessive, I will approve it. It has only one purpose. They just don't want everyone to know about it." At this time, Staff Officer Zhang had a wry smile on his face. This kind of errand was actually difficult to handle because he didn't know what the big boss was thinking. How to handle it well was a big problem. How to accomplish the greatest thing at the lowest cost was the key. "Don't worry, General Zhu, leave this matter to me." Staff Officer Zhang agreed directly. Avoiding the tasks that fell on him would not be done. Besides, he could just be a middleman and report directly to the boss on any conditions. At this time, Feng Mo and others were following the receiving officers towards the maglev bus parked outside the starport. "Mo, what will you do if this is the military headquarters? Will you kill people and silence them?" Wang Chongqing said in a scumbag voice, and Feng Mo gave him a blank look. In fact, it is normal for this kind of thing to happen. Everyone present knows what is going on. If Boss Kui comes alone, he may be worried about this. But he was not alone, and he didn't know the identities of Feng Mo and others, especially since there was the behemoth Yunshan Military Academy standing behind them. The Yunshan Empire is the third largest among the 17 empires of the Star-Sea Human Federation. At least 10% of the top military officials in the entire Star-Sea Human Federation have graduated from the academy. Calling them over now is to negotiate and solve the problem. To put it bluntly, it is a matter of the price offered. Chapter 27 Need to pay extra. The bus stopped in front of a military fortress. Feng Mo and others got off the bus and saw a senior colonel standing at the door. Although this man was wearing a military uniform, his face was gentle. With a gentle smile, and an elegant temperament. It's Viscount Feng Mo, right? Wang Chongqing, Mozu and Yu Xiaoming, right? Let me introduce myself. I'm Zhang Guanqiao. I'm your senior, a student who graduated from the first class of the 213th Command Department. Class of 213? Is this a senior colonel? Feng Mo is in the 232nd class this time, and he has become a senior in just 19 years. The rockets have not upgraded so quickly. Feng Mo, who already attached great importance to Zhang Guanqiao, added to his weight in his heart. Hello, senior. If I had known that this was the senior's territory, I would have paid a visit a long time ago. Feng Mo and others said politely, as they say they rely on friends when going out. Seeing an old senior undoubtedly made everyone feel relaxed. After all, with a relationship from the college, they are undoubtedly much closer than ordinary people. Let's go, juniors and juniors. The senior will take you to dinner first and try the food of our staff department. After saying that, he led Feng Mo and others to a private room, where a variety of exquisite dishes were placed on the table. After everyone sat down, Xiaoming and Mozu unceremoniously picked up their chopsticks and started eating. They had to perform escort missions during this period, and everyone's mouths were tasteless. Zhang Guanqiao didn't care about this and was not in a hurry to talk about the matter. Instead, he urged Feng Mo to eat with Lao Wang, and he also ate with everyone. After the food was over, Zhang Guanqiao took out a handkerchief from his pocket, wiped his mouth and said to Feng Mo, "Junior, the senior won't say polite words to you." With the intelligence of the junior, I must have guessed the purpose of the seniors seeking out the minions. This time, the military department was careless and the juniors were frightened. So, it is normal for the military to provide compensation. If you have any requests, you can tell us. The senior will tell you the bottom line of the military first, and then the junior will consider it. Zhang Guanqiao didn't hesitate at all, and he didn't want to bargain with his junior schoolmates. His sincerity was clearly revealed when he spoke. Feng Mo nodded to express his understanding. First of all losses to the fleet will be borne by the military, and the rewards for completing the mission will be doubled. Secondly, a carriage fee will be given to the fleet, which can be negotiated. Finally, each of the junior students will be given a dark energy crystal. Of course, the final reward does not belong to Captain Kui. Please forgive me. I will go to the bathroom first and the juniors can discuss it. Note: 1 star coin equals 100 Yunshan coins. Although Zhang Guanqiao spoke impeccably, he didn't take Gui Xiao into consideration at all, but he didn't mind. If he hadn't followed Feng Mo, he would never have had the chance to meet people like Zhang Guanqiao. He, Gui Xiao, relies on his self-knowledge to survive in the sea of stars. Besides, he doesn't know what dark energy crystals are for. However, Feng Mo knew the efficacy of this treasure. As mentioned before, Chapter 12, dark matter and dark energy are related to the T5 starship, and dark energy crystals are the raw materials for building the T5 starship engine. And this dark energy crystal is embedded into the engine of a starship below T5 level, which can increase the star speed of the starship by at least 10 knots, and ensure that the engine will not be burned out when the starship engine restrictions are lifted. This reward is quite generous. Most nobles have never heard of a treasure like this. Only people within the military department know about it. Feng Mo also learned about the efficacy of this treasure by chance. After Zhang Guanqiao finished speaking, he turned and left the box. "Mo, I've made a fortune this time. The mission reward has been doubled to 10,000 points, 10,000 military merits, 600,000 star coins, and a carriage fee is also given. Now it's done. When the money comes, I will be fierce, show off, and don't have to be humble and ask for money." Wang Chongqing, that's enough for you. You haven't seen the money. After Zhang Guanqiao left, Lao Wang said excitedly, but these words were disgusted by Mozu. Hearing Mozu's scolding, Lao Wang retorted aggrievedly, "You think it's all you? The only thing left is money. When you went to my house last time, did you see how stingy my dad was? He was really stingy!" Seeing Lao Wang's aggrieved look, Mozu seemed to have thought of something and nodded in acquiescence. Feng Mo was very happy to see it. It seemed that there was a story about the last time these two people went home. Everyone joked a few words and then it came to an end. Senior has revealed his secret this time. One dark energy crystal alone is enough to compensate for this mission. This thing cannot be measured by money. It is considered military control material and is not allowed to circulate on the market. Feng Mo said seriously. This is the meaning of compensation. If something happened to an ordinary person this time, the military department might just give some symbolic money and it would be over. But among the four of us, who is an ordinary person, how can the military department not shed some blood? Of course, this also has the meaning of investment. Anyway, when Zhang Guanchao comes back, I can ask him for more travel expenses. The military department will not be short of money. Feng Mo nodded after hearing this. Lao Wang saw clearly that among the four of them, Yu Xiaoming never cared about this. She only liked giant ships and cannons. Even though Mozu talked and laughed in front of them, the arrogance in her bones could not be erased. This could be seen from the fact that she never spoke to Kui Xiu. As for Lao Wang, he knows how to behave and see things most clearly. You can see how cheerful he is at ordinary times, but at a critical moment, you can rest assured to leave your back to him. As for Feng Mo, needless to say, he is the protagonist and must be reliable. After a while, there was a knock on the door, and Zhang Guanchao walked in carrying a safe. Senior, we have discussed it. There is no problem with the first and third items. Thank you for your training. The second item needs further negotiation. Everyone present was smart. When Feng Mo said this, Zhang Guanchao understood what he meant and made a tentative offer. Junior, do you think 300,000 star coins are okay? Feng Mo smiled and shook his head without saying anything. How about 500,000 star coins? That's enough, Junior. Feng Mo still shook his head, made a 1 with his right hand, and then shook his left fist 3 times. Mr. Duo, 10 million star coins, my god. Zhang Guanchao was instantly upset. This was no longer just a tiger opening its mouth wide, it was biting the aorta. It's impossible, Junior. The previous mission reward doubled and converted into Yunshan coins is 260 million. If you want another 10 million star coins, 1 billion Yunshan coins, the military will lose a lot this time. And, Senior, I don't have the authority to do so. Let me tell you the truth. The military gave me the authority to offer a flat price of 1 million star coins, okay? Deal, Feng Mo said happily. Zhang Guanchao's heart skipped a beat. The price was too high, but he returned to normal in just a moment. It was all the military's money, not his Zhang family's. It was not his turn to feel sorry. Well, I believe that you guys are trustworthy. Don't spread this matter. The mission rewards and compensation will be transferred to your account in 10 minutes. The dark energy crystal is here. I have to go back to report, so I won't accompany you. Please, do as you please, but I will need this box for a while. It's okay. I have already made arrangements. You can use it as long as you want. After Zhang Guanchao finished speaking, he turned and left. 10 minutes later, Feng Mo checked his account and found that the mission rewards and compensation had been credited. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28. Dividing the spoils and returning home. After the mission rewards and compensation arrived, Feng Mo looked at Kui Xiao and said, Boss Kui, these 4 dark energy crystals belong to the 4 of us. The remaining military merits, points and star coins will be divided into half per person according to the previous agreement. After speaking, he transferred 5,000 military merit, 5,000 points and 800,000 star coins to Kui Xiao's account through the smart terminal. Then according to the previous agreement, they transferred 1,000 military merits, 1,000 points and 160,000 star coins to each of Lao Wang, Mozu and Xiamen. At this time, There were 2,400 military merits, 2,670 points, 320,000 star coins and 47 million Yunshan coins remaining in Feng Mo's account. This is undoubtedly a huge gain, and it is time to consider building a T3 interstellar industrial ship. A standard interstellar fleet must have at least one interstellar battleship or interstellar aircraft carrier as the main ship, 2 to 4 interstellar destroyers and several interstellar frigates. This is the standard configuration of the interstellar fleet, which also requires at least 2 special ship types, usually interstellar industrial ships and interstellar carriers. Industrial ships can be responsible for repairing and building starships, and carriers can store large amounts of materials and energy. Feng Mo wants to go to the Chaos Star Sea for interstellar exploration. After graduation, these 2 special ship types are indispensable. In addition, he is also thinking about the T3 combat armor made with up to 4,000 points. After the spoils were divided, everyone returned to the starship and prepared to return home. Feng Mo and others were going to planet Z-139, while Kui Lao's fleet returned to the Bass system. Before leaving, Kui Xiao once again wanted to express his gratitude to Feng Mo and others. The compensation allocated to him was enough to be worth the total cost of his entire fleet. This escort mission was really worth it. When he returned, he could double the size of the fleet, and he could also take on some medium and low difficulty missions in the future. After everyone said goodbye, Feng Mo first ordered the crew of the 2 T2 Black Bears to be transferred to the Storm, and then ordered to set sail. I didn't encounter any danger during the whole trip back this time, and I saw the military fleet patrolling many times during the journey from Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress to Beishanmen Space Station. After another 6 days, the fleet arrived at the Beishanmen Space Station. Once here, it can sail at warp speed. After another hour and 30 minutes, the fleet successfully arrived at Starport number 7 on planet Z-139. Today is already November 2nd. Feng Mo dialed Director Liu's communication method. The video was quickly connected, and a burst of hearty laughter came out. Good boy, you really showed shame to the Academy by destroying 17 Hive motherships. You are indeed an outstanding student of the Academy. The Academy is already aware of this matter. The Compensation Academy of the military will continue to follow up to see if it can be squeezed out. Compensation, okay, you just came back, please rest for a few more days. There is no airtight wall in the world, and Feng Mo felt that it was normal for the Academy to know the news. Moreover, as the first military academy of the Yunshan Empire, it is not an exaggeration to say that the world is full of students. The support given by such a behemoth to every outstanding student is unprecedented. In particular, Feng Mo can now independently design and build interstellar battleships, which makes the Academy pay more and more attention to it. Feng Mo is satisfied with the Academy's reply. No one would dislike having more money, right? Sure enough, 2 days later, 10 million Yunshan coins were credited to each of Feng Mo's 4 accounts, and the notes were for Academy rewards. This is the importance of backers in the era of favors, provided that there is the right to have equal dialogue. After sending all the starships in the fleet to the logistics department for repairs, Feng Mo took a rare day off. On November 4th, Feng Mo came to the logistics department early. Hello, Captain, I'm here to buy starship materials. Feng Mo came to the front desk of the logistics department and uploaded a list through the smart terminal. This is a list of parts that need to be purchased for the starship. At the same time, please arrange a large shipyard for me. This time I also need to borrow people from the military department. I want to build a T3 interstellar industrial ship. After hearing this, the captain standing at the front desk quickly called Yu Mingao through the smart terminal. Junior, Feng Mo, why don't you tell your senior about this shipbuilding project in advance so that he can give you a report and assign a starship engineer to learn from you? Senior, you're welcome. This time it was a temporary decision. Senior only needs to send the engineers and construction engineers stationed on planet 139. This was also Feng Mo's purpose. He didn't want to be like the monkey last time, being watched by everyone and feeling very uncomfortable. Okay, then, Junior, Let's go to the number 1 dockyard. I will now inform them to go to the number 1 dockyard to report to you, Yu Mingao said. Then, thank you, senior. After Feng Mo responded, he walked out of the logistics department and took a maglev car to the number 1 interstellar shipyard. Compared with building the Storm, it took Feng Mo 2 months to build the T3 Bronze Hammer class interstellar industrial ship. Even with the help of a large number of manpower, it took 1.5 months to complete. This industrial ship is the largest interstellar warship built by Feng Mo so far, with a length of only 2 kilometers. At this time, in the interstellar shipyard, there was a ship parked with a turquoise hull paint, which was 2.5 times the length of the Storm. After Feng Mo completed the last step of the hull inspection, the joy that emerged from the depths of his heart could no longer be concealed. The reason why he was so anxious to build this T3 industrial ship was because he never wanted to experience the stage of sudden death. After this starship is built, it will be handed over to Alyssa. The interstellar dwarves are known as natural starship engineers. Through this period of contact, Feng Mo discovered that Alyssa usually only has 2 hobbies: researching starships and eating. And these 2 hobbies go hand in hand. If she studies starships all night, she can eat all night. I don't know where this little Lolita, who is less than 1.4 meters tall, gets such a big stomach. It just so happens that Alyssa likes to do starship research, so I gave her this T3 copper hammer and all the drawings, and let her study them carefully. By the way, I will recruit a group of starship builders for her, and all the starship construction will be handed over to her in the future. April 3, 7491 of the federal calendar. At this time, more than 6 months have passed since Feng Mo and others came to planet Z-139, and this internship has also been successfully completed. Time flies. In the past 6 months, Feng Mo has completed a mid to low-level escort mission and participated in 33 wars against interstellar Zerg on planet Z-139. The mission on the Xinhuo panel was completed as early as the 17th time of resisting interstellar Zerg. Now he is no longer the calm boy who just came, but has become a fierce interstellar commander, which is the temperament of having experienced the battlefield. And his fleet has also grown from 1 battleship to 11 starships now, all thanks to Alyssa. Since Feng Mo built the T3 copper hammer, Alyssa moved from the Storm, and lived and ate on the copper hammer industrial ship. She usually came into contact with either blueprints or delicious food. In just 5 months, Alyssa had gained baby fat, and her chubby little face was very cute. However, her 5 months were not in vain. When Feng Mo and others were fighting on the front line, Alyssa was not only responsible for the maintenance of the starship, but also built 6 T2 Black Bear-class interstellar frigates. There are also 2 T3 Blade Mantis-class interstellar destroyers, which Feng Mo selected from the Xinhuo Mall with 500 points. It is said that destroyers are guards with swords, so these 2 T3 Blade Mantises are truly masters of the inner court. Not only did it break through the 200-knot star speed limit of the T3 starship, reaching 220 knots, but its hull was also equipped with 4 types of weapons. In addition to the conventional laser main gun and close and rapid-fire gun, it is also equipped with T3-level concussion missiles and proton torpedoes. These 2 weapons are known as aircraft carrier killers in the universe. Chapter 29. Half a year later, Mo. After graduation? Do you really not want to join the military with Mozu and me? With your talent and brother's determination, the 2 of us are invincible in the universe. In dormitory number 369 of Yunshan Military Academy, after Feng Mo, Wang Chongxing, Mozu and Yu Xiaoming sat down, Wang Chongxing began to denounce Feng Mo. Taiwan Novel Network.com. This is the 3rd day for the 4 of them to return from planet Z-139. They will graduate in 2 months, and the way out has become a wall in the hearts of all senior students. However, they all have a bright future, and even if they don't, their families will let them have it. Lao Wang and Mozu were directly recruited by the military department to serve as deputy captains of the Mo Yu fleet, one of the 3 major fleets of the Yunshan Empire. Mozu, Mo Yu, yes, the last commander of Mo Yu's fleet was Mozu's grandfather, Lord Mo of the Fallen Star Empire. At the same time, The name of Mo Yu's fleet was also named after Lord Mo. Although the Mo family is not a family of the Yunshan Empire, the Mo family has a fine tradition that every Mo family will go to college at Yunshan Military Academy. Otherwise, Lord Mo would not have been so familiar with Lao Wang's late grandfather. They were both college classmates and had a close relationship. I won't go, you know, Lao Wang, that we have to go to chaotic Starfleet sooner or later. My dream since I was a child is to conduct interstellar exploration. Now that I have the Federation T5 heavy weapon in hand, I can fight on 3 fronts without losing. It would be best for you to enter the military department to gain experience. Wang Chongshan could tell from Feng Mo's words that he had not yet put aside his parents' matters. Now that you have decided, I will give you a piece of advice before I leave. Don't build a T4 or above starship in a short period of time. Let your talent stay at T3 level for at least 3 to 5 years. After all these years, you must protect yourself and hide your talents. According to my old man, many people are very curious about your talents. If you haven't been warned, maybe some unruly people will come, looking for you. Feng Mo listened to these heartfelt words. He knew that the frequent introduction of 5 starships in just 1 year had attracted some people's attention. These things can also be explained by talent and years of accumulation. In addition, the people behind Feng Mo are working around and can protect him. If the blueprint of the T4 starship is suddenly presented, it will be like poking a hornet's nest. In the face of absolute interests, many people will choose to take risks. It is difficult to take action on the surface, but Feng Mo still knows that it is difficult to prevent hidden attacks. If anything happens in the future, be sure to contact us as soon as possible. The strength of the Mo fleet can protect you once. This sentence was said by Mo Zhu, which meant an agreement that Mo Yu's fleet could make an unconditional attack for Feng Mo if necessary. With an attack by the T5 fleet, it is tantamount to Feng Mo holding a big killer weapon in his hand, and whoever comes will die. Today's incident will surely spread due to Lao Wang's character. At that time, it will also serve as a warning to the unruly forces, a warning that can wipe out the family. The couple invested a lot in Feng Mo. Forget the sensational words and come to me when you build a fleet, Feng Mo said seriously. Boss, I also want to go to the Chaos Star Sea with you, but Grandpa won't let me. After graduation, I will go home to practice. From now on, boss, Lao Wang and Sister Zhu must contact me when they come to the Apocalypse Empire in the central part of the Federation. You, Xiamen on the side said with some frustration. After half a year of contact, the 3 of them had a great understanding of this little girl with a royal body and a Lolita face. The Yuezhi is an ancient family located in the Apocalypse Empire in the middle of the Star Sea Human Federation. On the surface, the family has 1 family and 2 titles, 1 duke and 1 marquis. Secretly, their background is even more powerful and terrifying. As for the Apocalypse Empire, the largest empire in the Star Sea Human Federation, it has 7 major star systems and is powerful. It has 5 T5 fleets alone, and it joins forces with the Huaiyao Empire to guard the central region of the Federation. The 3 Lao Wang reluctantly followed Feng Mo to say goodbye. They each have a bright future and will meet again in the future. These are all boosts. Feng Mo watched everyone leave the dormitory and return to the place where he had lived for 4 years. A trace of reluctance flashed in his eyes, but he had to look forward to everything. Little Y, let's go together. I have enough points left in the academy to buy you. Feng Mo said to the intelligent robot that Zhao Y had been with him for 4 years and had long been accustomed to its care in Feng Mo's life, so he simply bought it. Dear Master, little Y will follow in the Master's footsteps for the rest of his life. Just like that, Feng Mo took Zhao Y out of the dormitory where he had lived for 4 years and embarked on a new journey! Feng Mo took off his clothes and stood alone on a scanning platform, scanning his whole body with a light red light. Scanning completed. Combat armor model is being produced. At this time, Feng Mo was in the main control room of T3 Copper Hammer. He spent 4,000 points to buy memory metal before returning from planet Z-139. The remaining points are all used to purchase the proton torpedo. a powerful weapon mounted on the T-3 Mantis-class Star Destroyer. After dozens of wars, Feng Mo had obtained a total of more than 13,000 military supplies, but it was still a drop in the bucket before he could be promoted to a noble title. The Yunshan Empire's Viscount's military merits required to be promoted to Earl were 1 million, and those to be promoted to Marquess's military merits were 10 million. As for the Duke, promotion cannot be achieved through military exploits. It requires the votes of more than 60% of the members of the Imperial Parliament to pass. At this time, he was preparing to make T3 Black Brilliant Combat Armor. Fighting armor, also called external armor, is a full-body armor similar to ancient times. The first step is to measure the body data, make a model according to the body shape, and then integrate memory metal. Finally, the intelligence, engine, weapons and other external parts are filled. This battle armor is all pieced together by Feng Mo controlling the mechanical arm, and then integrated with memory metal, and dark energy crystals are integrated when making the energy engine. It is the dark energy crystal compensated by the military half a year ago, which can improve the efficiency of the engine and protect the engine from damage when overloaded. This battle armor is completely poured into Feng Mo's efforts. It is a life-saving thing, and no carelessness is allowed. Finally, it took half a month, and with the help of Lisa, this battle armor was completed. Looking at the black armor standing on the workbench in front of him, Feng Mo nodded with satisfaction and placed his right hand on the chest of the battle armor, where the engine is placed. The highest authority is detected, identity recognition begins, and recognition is successful. "Hello, Master," Dao reports to you. A mechanical voice sounded, and the black armor turned into a ball of black liquid, flowing along Feng Mo's arm to the whole body. Then it took shape in an instant, and a combat armor attached to Feng Mo's body surface. Feng Mo walked back and forth in the armor, and conducted systematic tests, such as flying, weapon installation, armor release and recovery, etc. After a series of tests, he was very satisfied, and the most important thing was that he could hardly feel the weight of the armor while walking. With this life-saving armor, he was about to go to the Chaos Star Sea, which greatly guaranteed his safety. Feng Mo tapped his chest twice, and the combat armor on his body gradually shrank, turning into a ball of black liquid flowing to his right wrist and turning into a black bracelet. This is the magic of memory metal. Of course, the magic is magical, but the price is not low. The cost of this combat armor is close to 50 million Yunshan coins. Chapter 30 T3 Zircon-class interstellar mecha. In the conference room of the Storm, Feng Mo was sitting in the main seat, with more than a dozen female crew members sitting on his left and right, including interstellar succubi, dwarves, elves, orcs, etc. Sir, Commander, the fleet currently has 11 starships, including 1 T3 class star battleship, 2 T3 class star destroyers, and 8 T2 class star frigates. They are fully equipped with materials and energy and can set off at any time, Lui reported. Feng Mo nodded after hearing this, then looked to Alyssa side and said, "Captain Alyssa, I have uploaded the drawings of the T3 Zircon-class interstellar mecha to the main console of the industrial ship. When the fleet arrives in the Xianyun galaxy, 60 million Yunshan coins will be allocated to your account. This fund is used to order construction materials for 4 T2 Black Bear-class star frigates, 10 Zircon-class star mechas, and 2 T3 Dao Mantis-class star destroyers. Don't worry about the technical staff. We will add 50 more technical staff to you when we arrive in the Xianyun galaxy. I only give you 2 months to make these starships and mechas. I am announcing that the fleet will be led by the Storm. Alplan will be promoted to Deputy Commander of the Fleet, Deputy Captain of the Storm, and Alyssa, Dwarf, will be the Captain of the T3 Bronze Hammer-class interstellar industrial ship. Huakin, Elf, is the Captain of the number 1 ship of the T3 Dao Mantis-class star destroyer. The Mellow Sisters, the Half-Orcs, are the captains of the number 2 and number 3 ships of the T3 Dao Mantis, and Celia, the Half-Orcs, is the captain of the ship, captain of the T3 Dao Mantis number 4 ship. The captains of the remaining 12 T2 Black Bear-class interstellar frigates are selected from the reserve captains, and Vice Commander Al is in charge. The last thing is the naming of the fleet. Since the Storm is the main ship, it will be called the Storm Fleet from now on. Okay, let's break up. Yes. When Feng Mo was practicing on the front line in the past 6 months, what he did most was to reserve talents and exchange access points for starship materials and Yunshan coins. Among them, 2 T3 Dao Mantis and 6 T2 Black Bear, improved version, were built with starship materials. All the remaining points were converted into Yunshan coins. Now, after Feng Mo's account gave Alyssa the 60 million, there were still 320,000 star coins and 40 million Yunshan coins. During the past 6 months, Feng Mo had discussed with Al from time to time the purchase of various talents to serve as crew members. Among them, the Merlos sisters and Celia were outstanding reserve captains among the first batch of orcs. As for the T3 Zircon-class interstellar mecha blueprint, it was Feng Mo's reward for completing the mission of killing the interstellar Zerg. It was an indispensable weapon and equipment for attacking the astrological planet. Because ordinary starships are too powerful, you don't need to worry about being too destructive when fighting in the universe. But Feng Mo went to the Chaos Star Sea for interstellar exploration, to capture life and resource planets, and to continuously expand his fleet. If you only use starships, with the main and secondary guns of the starships, you can carry out carpet bombing of all places on the planet, commonly known as floor washing. However, this kind of bombing is extremely destructive to the planet. If you want to control the planet with minimal damage, interstellar mechas are the weapon of choice. After everyone walked out of the conference room, Feng Mo lay on the chair. A blue screen appeared in his eyes. Name, Feng Mo. Level 2 Genetic Warrior. Occupation, Junior Starship Engineer. Special talent, Half the Sky. When the fleet recruits more female soldiers than male soldiers and non-humanoid male soldiers, the fleet will receive a luck bonus. Starships, T3 Storm-class star battleship ×1, T3 Dao Mantis-class star destroyer ×4, T3 Bronze Hammer-class interstellar industrial ship ×1, T2 Black Bear-class interstellar frigate ×12, T3 Zircon-class interstellar mecha points, 1000 mission. Go to the Sea of Chaotic Stars and capture a planet as a base. Reward, 1000 points. T3 Sea Lion-class interstellar aircraft carrier blueprint. Warehouse, T2 Black Bear-class interstellar frigate blueprints. Copyright has been sold. T2 Zebra-class interstellar destroyer blueprints. Copyright has been sold. T3 Storm-class interstellar battleship blueprints. 13 million. T3 Bronze Hammer-class interstellar industrial ship blueprints. 30 million. T3 Haiyao-class combat armor blueprint. 40 million. T3 Dao Mantis-class star destroyer blueprint. 9 million. T3 Zircon-class interstellar mecha blueprint. 3 million. The T3 Sea Lion-class interstellar aircraft carrier is the last territory of the Feng Mo fleet on the battlefield. There are two concepts in a fleet: having an interstellar aircraft carrier and not having one. The interstellar aircraft carrier has powerful attack power, strong maneuverability, large attack coverage, and long-range strike capabilities. It is an indispensable weapon on the battlefield. Feng Mo was very greedy for this blueprint, and the 1000 points given by the mission were also very important. In the Xinhua Mall, it takes 2,500 points to exchange for a T4 class star warship. He only has 1,000 points now. After completing this task, he can redeem it for a T4 star battleship by completing another task. However, Lao Wang's words from the past were still vivid in his mind. Feng Mo rubbed his cheek and said to himself, "Don't be anxious, take your time, set a 5-year goal, and strive to build a T4 fleet. The next 5-year goal is to build the first T5 star battleship." On June 15, 7491 in the federal calendar, the Sea of Stars was in chaos. It was named Luan because of the chaos, and it was named Xinghai because of its vastness. This is the origin of the name Luangxinghai. The three western empires of the Star Sea Human Federation are all bordering the Sea of Chaos Stars. Feng Mo's parents originally went to the Sea of Chaos Stars from the Auckland system in the Snow Eagle Empire. Feng Mo will also repeat his parents' footsteps this time. To reach the Snow Eagle Empire, One needs to cross more than a dozen galaxies, and normal navigation would take half a month. In order to closely connect the major empires and establish a community with a shared future, the Federation spent huge sums of money to build large stargates in each empire's main galaxy, allowing it to jump across multiple galaxies. However, this kind of large stargate is under military control, but this is not a problem for Viscount Feng Mo. He can just show his identity and use it for free. The Feng Mo fleet first arrived at the Yunshan galaxy, used the large stargate jump to the Snow Eagle galaxy, and then set off from the Snow Eagle galaxy across 2 galaxies to finally reach its destination. After the Storm fleet arrived in the Auckland system, they did not rush to the Sea of Chaotic Stars, which would have killed people if they plunged in without thinking. Instead, they came to the main star of Auckland as soon as possible. Because the galaxy's geographical location borders the Sea of Chaos Stars, this is a supply station for adventurers. If you want to go to the Sea of Chaos Stars and gain something, one thing you must have is a star map. This is also the first place to go after arriving at Auckland Prime. Rika Star Map Shop. Feng Mo looked at the small shop in front of him, and the corner of his mouth twitched slightly. He gave up buying star maps at the military department and listened to Lao Wang's advice and came to this small shop. Is it really reliable? As expected, Feng Mo opened the door and entered the small store. The store was very small, with only a counter 1.5 meters high. The smart robot was busy cleaning up. When he saw Feng Mo coming in, he took the initiative to step forward and said, "Dear guest, welcome to Lika Star Map Store. I am the Deputy Store Manager Lika. Our store has the most complete star maps for our distinguished customers to purchase." "No need. I'm looking for your boss." The Wang family of the Yunshan Empire is a visitor. It turns out that he is a distinguished guest from the Wang family. The boss has already told me to wait for you here and give you something for a fee of 100,000 star coins. After Lika finished speaking, he took off a chip hanging from his neck and handed it to Feng Mo. "Oh, that's interesting." Feng Mo became interested in this boss whom he could not see in person. He only appointed a robot here and dared to do business worth 100,000 star coins. After deducting 100,000 star coins, Feng Mo took the chip from the robot's hand and inserted it into the smart terminal on his left wrist. After reading the data, a detailed star map emerged. It records all the galaxies under the jurisdiction of the 17 empires of the entire Star Sea Human Federation, as well as some territories of the surrounding interstellar Zerg, orcs and machine races. Outside the territory of the Federation, the Chaos Star Sea has the most recorded areas. Chapter 31. Happy crew members. There are a total of 5 galaxies recorded on the star map of the Sea of Chaotic Stars. There are no records of the farther ones, but the general situation of the galaxies is mentioned. In the 5 galaxies, the planets marked with blue numbers have been captured. The explorers have reported to the Federation and are nominally owned by the Star Sea Human Federation. Some of the planets marked with red numbers are native to the Chaos Star Sea, and some are occupied by other interstellar races. Since the Federation did not fully occupy the 5 systems, they were not officially named, but were only called by code names. The code names of the 5 galaxies are U1, U2, U3, U4 and U5. As for the Devil Galaxy that Al mentioned, it is not shown on the star map. After Feng Mo walked out of the Rika Star Map Shop, he took Al on the maglev train back to the starport. Now that he had the star map in hand, he could officially prepare to set sail. The closest to the Auckland Galaxy is the U3 Galaxy, which has been occupied by more than 70% of the Federation, and the rest is only a matter of time. "Commander, I smell the same kind of smell." After Al said, he pointed to the seat at the back of the train, where sat a succubus whose whole body was covered by a large black hooded windbreaker, and whose face could not be seen clearly. It's amazing to see a succubus riding a maglev train alone here, because any alien that can walk on the streets has an owner. The succubus under the windbreaker is obviously not among them, otherwise she would not be afraid to show her figure. Feng Mo couldn't help but be a little curious about this. You must know that succubi are very popular in the Federation, especially wild succubi, as long as they are caught and sold into the slave market. They will earn at least hundreds of thousands of Yunshan coins. And most people are not qualified to buy slaves of this special race. This best-selling product is forbidden by the nobles. Occasionally, a few of them will enter the market and be quickly divided by some small families. At this time, 4 more humans got on the train. As soon as they got on the train, these people looked around until they saw the wild succubus. The succubus tribe has strong mental power. It was obvious that the 4 people who got on the train later were sensed by the succubus as hostile and chose to get off at the next stop. The 4 people also followed suit and got off the train. "Let's go and have a look." Seeing Al's pleading expression on his face, Feng Mo couldn't bear to refuse. Every planet has dark places. The Auckland galaxy is close to the Sea of Chaos stars, and the security and prosperity here are much worse than in other areas of the Federation. In a slum, a succubus wearing a hooded windbreaker limped to an old house. After sensing that no one was following him, he knocked on the door rhythmically. After a while, with a squeak, the door opened, and the hooded and windbreaker succubus entered the house. At this time, several black shadows came out of the corner. They were all interstellar succubi. Among them were 1 adult succubus and 5 baby succubi. These are all female succubi. They have 2 standard horns on their heads and a long tail on their hips. However, their tails are wrapped around their waists and they wear hooded windbreakers. They look similar to human women in body shape. Layla, how's it going? Did you get anything? The succubus named Layla first hugged the little carrots surrounding her, then took off her hooded windbreaker, took out a dozen banknotes depicting a white eagle and said, "That's all we have today. It should be enough for the children to eat for a week. We may have to move." When we came back today, we found that bad guys were looking for us. Shasha, Shasha. A small sound sounded, very softly, but it could not escape the succubus's mental power. "No, Lacey, take the kids and leave through the back door." "Where are we going?" "This private house is surrounded by our people. Let me count a total of 7 interstellar succubi. The young master will be extremely happy when he finds out." The door of the private house was kicked open, and 7 or 8 men in black armed with laser guns walked in. The middle-aged man who led them was already filled with joy. As long as he catches these 7 succubi, whether they are given to the young master he talks about, or used to cling to other powerful people, he can rise to the top. Although a small place like theirs is close to the Sea of Stars, this is the first time for a middle-aged man of the special race of succubus to see it. It's not like they were in vain for nearly a month. They had already planned it. "You guys run. Their goal is to capture them alive. If you don't know how to shoot, just run. If you can, one will be the one." Luca scolded, and at the same time he drew out 4 daggers from his waist, bursting with mental power, and shot the 4 daggers at the man in black at the same time. The succubi hiding behind Luca fled one after another under the leadership of Lacey. "Want to run away? You all go and chase me. Leave this little beauty to me." The middle-aged man at the head did not pay attention to the dagger that was shot at him. He only saw his body flash, and 4 golden and iron sounds of clang, 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 clang were heard, and all the daggers were cut off by Black Dagger. The only means of attack was broken, and a look of despair appeared in Luca's eyes. At the same time, he steeled himself and drew out a dagger again and cut his own throat. He would rather die than surrender. "I advise you not to resist. Follow me, and deliver it to the noble master. Maybe your life will be different. If we meet again in the future, I may have to salute you." The middle-aged man stepped in front of Luca, used a black dagger to pick off Luca's dagger, and at the same time uttered seductive words, trying to disrupt Luca's mind and make him stop thinking about committing suicide. Luca thought about how her sisters had been hiding for the past 2 years. They had lived through enough darkness. Maybe she should have died long ago. She had the will to die but lacked the means to commit suicide. Snap, snap, snap. "It's a good show. Do you mind if I come in and take a look? Maybe if you perform well, I can give you 2 rewards." A figure pushed open the door and entered. It was Feng Mo and Al. At this time, there were a group of men in black floating behind the 2 people. They were all controlled by Al's mental power and could not move. At this time, 6 succubi walked out from behind Al, and it was Lacey and others who were fleeing at that time. The middle-aged man has a lot of experience and can control so many people at the same time. The succubus woman in front of him must be a third-level genetic warrior. With the mental power of the succubus, she may have already reached the 4th level. Such a powerful succubus is just a follower of the young man in front of him. The identity of such a young man is self-evident, a noble. Young master, we are working for the Ackland Liu family. We can't take the people away today, I agree, but for the sake of being the nobles of the empire, please let us go. The middle-aged man's words were well-founded, but it was a pity that they met Feng Mo. Liu family? As far as I know, there doesn't seem to be a Liu family among the nobles of the Snow Eagle Empire, right? Feng Mo said with some confusion. Commander, this Liu family should be a baron. It was recorded in the Ackland system information that Captain Wang Chongshan gave you before, but you only read the Viscount and above. Al, on the side, explained aloud that the middle-aged man heard their conversation, and even though he was also a third-level genetic warrior, he still threw the dagger in his hand on the ground and raised his hands to express surrender. Feng Mo was not the one responsible for the crime, and he didn't want to bring disaster to the Liu family behind his back. It has to be said that sometimes it is beneficial for people to judge the situation. At least once this person surrendered, Feng Mo could not find a reason to kill him. Ilka, who was standing there, was already in tears when she saw Al. She had already planned to find an opportunity to commit suicide again, and she had hope of living again. Chapter 32 Departure. Okay, get out of here, and tell Baron Liu behind you that I have taken these succubi away. If you have any questions, come to me anytime. Feng Mo did not give his name, but he believed that Baron Liu could know who he was. After all, it was not difficult to go to the starport to find familiar military insiders and check the docking records. Feng Mo also believed that after Baron Liu found out here, he would take the initiative to stop the investigation, because he knew that if he continued to investigate, people would die. After hearing Feng Mo's order, Al waved his hand, and many men in black fell to the ground like dumplings falling from the sky. Suddenly there was an ouch, and the middle-aged man was obviously relieved after hearing this. He quickly helped everyone up and walked away in despair. At this time, Feng Mo turned to look at Ilka and said, Alplan, your kindred is now the deputy commander of the Storm Fleet. If you are willing, you can join my fleet as a reserve captain. Don't worry, no one in my fleet dares to do anything. Bullying, of course you are not allowed to bully others. As soon as Feng Mo finished speaking, the whole family and the 5 children looked at Ilka, their eyes full of longing. Hello, Commander. Commander Al is the hero of our succubus clan. Ilka, Lacey is willing to be loyal to you. Haha, okay, Al, report to the Federation and get them an identity. From now on, they will be the reserve captains of the Storm Fleet. Let's go back to the fleet, it's time to set off. Feng Mo took the succubus back to the starport on the maglev train. As soon as he arrived at Starport 8 where the fleet was parked, he saw a middle-aged fat man in white brocade clothes with a white eagle embroidered on his chest waiting anxiously. What are you wearing? When the fat man saw Feng Mo and his party, he instantly changed his facial expression, trotted forward with a smile, stretched out his hands to hold Feng Mo's right hand tightly, and said in a flattering tone, Hey, Viscount Feng Mo, I've been waiting for you. I've offended you many times before. Liu, I'm here to make amends, he. Looking at the fat man who smiled like a hidden fox, Feng Mo was secretly wary. This fat man must be Baron Liu. He was a smiling tiger. What a fast reaction speed and network of connections. This fat man should have rushed to the starport to wait for him as soon as he was notified. Hello, I'm Feng Mo. Facing Feng Mo's cold face, the fat man didn't feel any discomfort. A true villain must learn to adapt to the environment and be able to bend and stretch before he can be a husband. You know that this is all a misunderstanding. As for those incompetent servants of my family who offended you, I should apologize to you. I'm really sorry. I know that Viscount Feng Mo is going to conduct interstellar exploration. Although Liu's family we don't have much resources, but we are willing to provide 100,000 star coins to support 1 or 2 do you think? After saying that, he looked at Feng Mo expectantly. Okay, then this matter is over. Baron Liu, the fleet has to leave in a hurry. See you soon. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he led everyone aboard the Storm. He had to keep the star coins. If he didn't accept them, Baron Liu, who was watching the Storm leave, would not be relieved. In starport number 8, after the Storm fleet left the starship, Baron Liu still stood there, watching the fleet depart. The steward next to him stepped forward and said, "Sir, that person has already left. Shall we go back?" "Go back? It's a pity that I couldn't establish a relationship with this person, otherwise the Liu family would have reached great heights," Baron Liu said regretfully. The butler on the side slapped himself slightly, and then asked curiously, "Sir, who is that, so arrogant?" "Hey, Viscount Feng Mo can be regarded as the genius of the Federation. He is the Viscount of the Yunshan Empire at the age of only 22. He owns a T3 fleet, all of which are starships designed and built by Viscount Feng Mo. Fortunately, my wife's family is from the Yunshan Empire. I only found out about this information after asking them to inquire. It is said that the two T2 starships designed by Viscount Feng Mo have been sold out on the market. If I get in touch with this person, I can seek a career. With agency authorization, the Liu family can at least move up 3 floors. T3, Storm-class star battleship, bridge. The coordinates are located at the Stargate of the U3 galaxy. The fleet will go to the Stargate of the Auckland galaxy and pass through the Stargate to the U3 galaxy. The total journey is expected to take 4 hours and 20 minutes. Deputy Commander Al was reporting on the planned route plan. The fleet shares the radar. The second-level warp engine is starting and will soon enter sailing mode. All first-level genetic warriors are requested to enter deep-sea mode. Those with second-level and above are on standby. The reason why the first-level genetic warriors are allowed to enter deep-sea mode is because they are afraid that their physical fitness is too weak and may easily lead to physical discomfort during warp-speed navigation. The route is pre-prepared and we will enter intelligent co-frequency warp-speed navigation in 3 minutes. Since it had to take care of 12 T2 black bears, it could only enter the second-level warp speed. Based on the performance of the Storm, starting the second-level warp engine did not require so much energy, so the entire starship did not cut off the power supply. The Storm fleet officially sets off for the fleet's first interstellar exploration. The fleet's intelligence system prompts that the warp speed voyage has ended. It has arrived at the predetermined destination, and it is now in autopilot mode. The main star of Auckland, Stargate. Feng Mo and others arrived here early. Stargates have been built in most of the galaxies occupied by the Federation so far in order to better control the territory, and the U3 galaxy is no exception. At this time, there was a long queue outside the Auckland Stargate, and the arrival of the Storm fleet did not attract too many people's attention. An hour and a half later, after Al showed his identification, the Storm fleet successfully passed through the Stargate and arrived at the U3 system. U3 galaxy, 83% of its territory is occupied by the Federation. After years of development, there are many forces of all sizes here. After many interstellar exploration fleets capture planets, they choose to sell their own parts to major nobles to earn a sum of money to develop fleets and continue to explore. Feng Mo's target is the unknown galaxy on the east side of U3 galaxy. According to the memories of sisters Al and Luca, their home planet is probably in this direction. When Al rebelled, he had destroyed all the star maps of the fleet. When he fled later, he escaped from the Demon Galaxy and came to an unknown galaxy, and was finally caught by a slave trader. Commander, the radar exploration video sent back news that there is an interstellar thief group ahead who is robbing a small fleet. After 23 hours of sailing, the Storm fleet successfully arrived at the Edge planet on the east side of U3 galaxy. There is no record of this planet on the star map. Feng Mo sat on the ship chair, looking at the blue projection screen in front of him. At this time, more than 10 T2 starships were chasing and intercepting 5 T2 starships, and a T2-class interstellar battleship was parked at the edge. There was only one flame logo on the hulls of more than 10 T2 starships, and there were 3 logos on the hulls of the 5 T2 starships being chased, namely Federation, Snow Eagle and Chen. This should be the family fleet. It seems that they are all chasing all the way from the front galaxy. It happens that the star map does not mark the information of the front galaxy. You can consult these 2 parties. As for the consulting fee, the grace of not killing should be able to offset the fee. Interstellar exploration is not in the Starsea Human Federation. There is no credit and friendship here. Kindness will only put your fleet into endless troubles and crises. Al. Notify everyone to dispatch Hawkins number 1 T3 Mantis and Celia's number 4 T3 Mantis, plus 8 T2 class interstellar frigates. It's time to let those who have just been promoted to captain experience more actual combat. As for the interstellar thieves group, just destroy it. I still need to question the leader if we catch him. As for the fleets being hunted, well, bring back their leader as well. Chapter 33, The Flame Bandits. T2 class star battleship, bridge. This is a pieced-together interstellar battleship. The specific model cannot be seen. Looking at the wear and tear of its hull and the signs of repairs, it can be seen that this interstellar battleship has a long history of use. Searched on Google. In the main control room of the battleship, a bald man with a flame mark tattooed on his head was lying on the big bed, with a half-dressed beauty lying on the left and right sides. At this time, the bald man was watching with relish the scene in the video of the band of thieves starship chasing the caravan starship, while his hands kept wandering around the beautiful woman's body, eliciting a whimper. Standing around the big bed was a young man wearing a blue combat uniform. Looking at the big man's extravagant appearance, he frowned slightly, coughed slightly and said, "Master 6, when you've had enough fun, close the internet cafe. Don't let anything happen if you continue to play. This is not our territory after all." "What are you afraid of? My fleet has been anchored here for a month, and finally blocked a fat sheep. It doesn't matter if I kill it for fun. It can't escape anyway. Who will come to such a remote place?" The young man just suggested to avoid long nights and dreams, but he didn't think these 5 T2 starships could escape. Alert, alert, alert. A large number of unknown star warships have entered the radar detection area. Energy level, level 3. A mechanical sound rang in the main control room. The bald man was so frightened that he quickly pulled his hands out of the 2 women, and then shouted, "Quick, quick, quick, bring up the radar screen." A screen projection appeared on the main console, and 10 starships suddenly appeared in the silent universe, sailing straight towards the battle area ahead. The main and secondary guns of 2 T3 destroyers were already glowing brightly. At this time, the big man's bald head with flame tattoos was dripping with cold sweat, because he also found 3 marks on the hulls of the 10 starships, the first of which was the same as the mark on the 5 starships they surrounded. The second symbol he didn't recognize was a mountain peak thrust into the clouds. The third symbol was a blue tornado with the word wind written inside the tornado. "Quick, quick, quick, turn around and run back to the headquarters. Quick!" The bald man quickly shouted to the young man beside the bed. "Master 6, it's too late. The other party has requested to talk to you, and please check the radar screen." After the young man finished speaking, the bald man looked at the radar screen again, and saw 6 starships again appearing on the edge of the radar radiation, with the same hull markings as the previous 10 starships. The difference is that among these 6 interstellar battleships there is a T3 battleship. As long as this heavy interstellar overlord appears on its radar, this small ship will be a hit. He didn't dare to move at all, not to mention that the other party was about to have a video call with them. "Take the video," the bald man said tremblingly. After the video was connected, a young man wearing a black combat uniform appeared on the opposite side, sitting on the captain's chair. This young man was Feng Mo. At this time, Feng Mo frowned slightly, and felt a flash of displeasure in his heart when he saw the big man with flame tattoos in front of him. This idiot actually changed the main control room into his own home. The captain's chair turned into a big bed, and they were also followed by 2 beauties. It was really unbearable for she. After all, Feng Mo himself had never lived this life. After taking a furtive look at Al, Feng Mo said harshly to the big man, I advise you not to make any bad moves, otherwise I'm not sure if you can still find a whole corpse if you get shot. Open your hatch and someone will come to pick you up later. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he looked at Al next to him and said, order the mecha team to dispatch and go to the T2 star battleship to capture its leader. Closely monitor the enemy starship and fire the turbo laser main gun directly if there is any movement. Yes. Feng Mo turned the captain's chair and looked at the screen where Joaquin and Celia commanded two T3 mantises to shoot a child, and they had a great time fighting. As for the frigates, they forced the Chen family's fleet to stop and surround it. At this time, in the T3 Bronze Hammer class interstellar industrial ship, 10 interstellar mechas were neatly arranged at the hatch. The leader is Feng Tanyi, captain of the mecha squad, captain of the mecha squad of the Yunshan Empire's Lion Fleet. He is Feng Mo's distant cousin and has always been loyal to his master's family. Hearing that Feng Mo wanted to create a mecha team, Yang Bo specially called Feng Tanyi back, and then transferred a total of 50 professional mecha pilots from the Feng family. Feng Mo packed them all away. Today is the first time that we, the children of the Feng family, have carried out a mission. We must complete it successfully and not embarrass the head of the family. If anyone makes a mistake, he will be dealt with according to the law when he comes back. Do you understand? Clear. Okay, open the hatch and get ready to go. Following Feng Tanyi's order, the hatch slowly opened, and 10 T3 class interstellar mechas sailed towards the T2 interstellar battleship in the distance. The speed of the T3 Zircon class interstellar mecha is 30 knots, which is not slow for an interstellar mecha. It will arrive at the hatch of the battleship in a short time. At this time, the bald man did not dare to disobey Feng Mo's orders, so he could only put on combat uniforms and follow a group of younger men to wait at the hatch. According to the commander's order, the leader of the interstellar bandits is captured. If there is resistance, kill him. Feng Tanyi jumped off the mecha, wearing a combat uniform and holding a laser gun. He was followed by 2 mecha pilots. The 3 of them first put electronic bracelets on the bald man and then detained him in the mecha. He kept a cold face throughout the whole process without saying a word. The 7 mechas stationed at the hatch always kept firing. If there was any abnormality, they would fire directly. When Feng Mo saw the bald man again in reality, Al was already commanding the captains to clean up the battlefield. More than a dozen T2 starships were vulnerable, but the collection of these starship wreckages was also a considerable gain, and they could also be used as materials for building T2 Black Bear after being rebuilt. Commander, the commander of the Chen family fleet is waiting for an audience outside the bridge. At this time, Al came to report. Let him in, Feng Mo said. After a while, Al brought in a beautiful woman. In the interstellar era, human genes are constantly being optimized, and with the addition of many technologies, any woman with a little status is not ugly. Hello, Commander, I am Chen Qian, the commander of the Chen family fleet of the Snow Eagle Empire. Thank you for your rescue. The beautiful woman gave a standard federal military salute. Feng Mo nodded calmly, ignored it, and focused his attention on the bald man. I'll show you a trick. Have you seen the art of explosion? Now you see it. After Feng Mo finished speaking, a holographic projection appeared between the 3 people. It was the T2 class interstellar battleship driven by the bald man. 4 beams of light suddenly appeared on the screen, all of which bombarded the battleship's hull. The thickest beam of light fell directly on the bridge. The entire bridge of the T2 interstellar battleship disappeared, replaced by a hole after the explosion. The entire starship was directly pierced by the storm. At this time, the bald man with trembling legs would have fallen directly to the ground if the crew members beside him hadn't supported him. Feng Mo was very satisfied with this attack. Looking at the frightened bald man, he said, "Tell me, where are you from? Where are you going? What do you want to do? Explain clearly and you can do it. If you don't explain clearly, you will be thrown out." Big Lord, I am the 6th boss of the Flame Thieves Group. Chapter 34 Storm Galaxy. Sir, I am the 6th master of the Blazing Thieves Group. I come from the Blazing Galaxy. I have been squatting here for nearly a month, I happened to encounter the Chen family fleet and became a thief. Next, the bald man explained clearly intermittently that the flame galaxy he came from was the target of Feng Mo's trip. As for the name, it was the commander of their band of thieves who got it. The Flame Thieves group is one of the 3 major forces in their galaxy. There are 9 masters in total. Each master commands a fleet. Among them, the master has more than 20 T3 starships under his command. This is a powerful enemy. There are 3 life planets discovered in the entire Flame Galaxy, and they are occupied by the elves, the Flame Thieves and the Bixi tribe respectively. The 3 forces divide the surrounding resource planets. Among them, the Flame Thieves group is the strongest. The elves and the Bixi clan are at odds with each other, but they have no choice but to cooperate to resist the invasion of the Flame Thieves group. The elves are peace-loving and rarely take the initiative to invade other planets. The Bixi tribe is a humanoid race. Their skin color is sky blue. They have a pair of big eyes, but no nose. Their other habits are the same as humans. Compared with the elves, the Bixi tribe has a resolute character and will not give in to power, so they have many conflicts with the Flame Thieves group, and the 3 forces are at loggerheads in the galaxy. This is all the bald man knew. After hearing this, Feng Mo nodded. He was obviously very satisfied with his answer. He stood up and patted the bald man on the shoulder and said, "I'm very satisfied with your answer. I'm willing to let you go. Ow, throw him out of the starship and let him die on his own." The bald man was originally very happy when he heard that Feng Mo was willing to let him go, but after hearing the second half of the sentence, he immediately broke his guard. Just when he was about to curse, Al used his mental power to control him and made him unable to speak. His eyes were full of fear, and he could only watch as he was thrown out of the storm and entered the universe to fend for himself. At this time, Feng Mo looked at Chen Qian and continued, "It's your turn. Please explain the origin and purpose." Chen Qian's heart trembled when she saw Feng Mo's gaze. The commander in front of her seemed to be very difficult to talk to. He first invited her to watch an explosion, and then asked her to watch a personal interstellar tour. But the situation is stronger than the person, so I can only tell everything I know. The Chen family is a local trading family belonging to the main star of the Snow Eagle Empire. There is only one viscount in the family, but the family has been in business for generations and has considerable wealth and power. And Chen Qian is just a squad commander of the Chen family caravan. The fleet under her command only has more than 20 starships. She went to the Flame Galaxy to trade with the elves and Bixi tribe. Unexpectedly, when they returned to the U3 galaxy, they were attacked by the Flame Bandits. After destroying more than 10 starships, they escaped and were chased here by a bald man. Feng Mo nodded after hearing this. It would be too cruel to kill them all if they were both from the Human Federation. Let's make a deal. Give me a copy of the star map of the blazing galaxy and let the servants leave. The Chen family owes me another favor. After the storm fleet returns, I will go to the Chen family and ask you to help me with something, okay? Regarding Feng Mo's request, Chen Qian thought for a moment before nodding in agreement. Feng Mo is very satisfied with this. As long as Chen Qian accepts this favor, Feng Mo has many ways to make the Chen family honor it. Since the Chen family is a trading family, they must have stored a large amount of precious materials for building starships. These are exactly what Feng Mo needs. It's not that he doesn't want to give money, but he just doesn't have that much time to collect them. I believe Chen can do things that are mutually beneficial. The family will not refuse. After the conversation ended, Feng Mo ordered people to send Chen Qian back. This time, instead of throwing the person into the universe, she sent her back to the Chen family's starship. Al informed me that in the future, the Flame Galaxy will be changed to the Storm Galaxy. This will be the place where the fleet will settle, and it will also become our base camp in the future. Yes, Commander. Storm Galaxy. This is considered a young galaxy because most of the stars in this galaxy rotate relatively quickly. This also proves that the high-grade mineral reserves in this galaxy are not high, because only in galaxies where stars die in large numbers will there be more high-grade minerals. However, a young galaxy means that it is relatively stable, and Feng Mo is still very satisfied with this. However, this galaxy does not have a Stargate yet, so traveling may not be very convenient. But these are not problems. After he defeats this galaxy, he can just let the Federation install a Stargate. Maybe he can use this galaxy to build a country in the future. Of course, the premise of all this is to be able to defend this place. Feng Mo opened the star map and took a rough look at the situation in the Storm Galaxy. The star map given by Chen Qian was very detailed. Although the three major forces occupied most of the galaxy, there were still some small forces present. The most famous among them is the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce. Chen Qian did not know their origins. She only knew that the Chamber of Commerce built a huge starport on the Yunjian planet, which gradually became a supply station for various interstellar forces. The fleet is going to Yunjian starport. First, it will replenish the resources needed by the starship, and by the way, we will also inquire about the information about the elves, Feng Mo said. Yes. With the coordinates of the star map, the fleet can enter warp speed and successfully arrive at the Yunjian starport in 2 hours. We are contacting the Starport Service Department and accessing the public channel. We have been contacted and the fee has been paid. Arranged things for the starport to be docked, contacted the Starport Service Department, paid the star coins, and then the fleet sailed into Pier 3. At first glance, you can tell that this starport is a newly built one. The exterior is quite clean and there are no signs of damage or repairs. Hello. This is Yunjian Starport. I am the receptionist of the service department, waiting for you at Pier 3. A crisp voice came from the video. Feng Mo was a little surprised. There has never been such a precedent when docking in the starport in the past. They always tell you where to park and then end the service. The newly built starport is good and the service is good. The Storm Fleet is in combat readiness. Let Luca and Lacey contact their service department to replenish the starship fuel and supplies. Come with me to meet the receptionist. Nodded. In such an unfamiliar place, you still have to be vigilant, so that you will not suffer at least. Feng Mo took Al to the ground of the starport directly through the optical tweezers technology. A gorgeous woman in Cheongsam was already waiting on the ground. Welcome, Viscount Feng Mo, to Yunjian Starport. Here you will feel the ultimate enjoyment and joy. Race, age, gender, beastman, alien race. Yunjian Starport has everything. The receptionist said while playing a holographic projection list with various photos on it. Feng Mo's mouth twitched slightly, as if he had strayed into an incredible place. Deputy Commander L beside him had already been furious. A light blue light flashed in his eyes, and a majestic mental power shone through his body. The receptionist felt L's anger, first glanced at Feng Mo, and found that the other party did not mean to find him, then immediately closed the holographic projection and changed his face to a serious expression. Hello, sir, what help do you need? For example, supplies, energy, intelligence, women, etc. Seeing the receptionist return to normal, Feng Mo breathed a sigh of relief, and at the same time felt a little disappointed. In fact, all men are like this. Hello, I want to ask about the current situation between the Flame Thieves, the Elves and the Bissy. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35, Yunjian Starport. Hello, I would like to ask how much information is needed on the current situation between the Flame Thieves group, the Elf tribe and the Bixi tribe? You are the Star Sea Human Federation, the Viscount of the Yunshan Empire. You will receive a 20% discount on your purchases at Yunjian Starport. You only need to pay 8,000 star coins. Feng Mo nodded. The price was quite fair. He directly deducted 9,000 star coins and said, 8,000 is the consulting fee. The remaining 1,000 I want to hear some information that is not in the intelligence. The receptionist smiled sweetly after hearing this, bowed slightly to express his gratitude, and then said, Lord Viscount, the current situation is not very optimistic. There is a resource planet at the junction of the three forces, which contains a large number of special material resources for making T4 starships. The Flame Thieves group and the Bixi tribe are bound to capture this resource planet. Even the elves participated in the fight. Now, the junction of the three forces is like a large meat grinder. Of the 9 heads of the Flame Thieves, the 6th is missing, the 9th is stationed on the planet of flames, and the remaining 7 are all on the battlefield. If you are also interested in that resource planet, I would like to advise you to be more careful. The starship the leader of the Flame Thieves is riding is a T3 Cheetah-class star battleship. It has been modified and specially equipped with a T4-class ion laser main gun. Although it has lost some star speed, it is extremely powerful. The 3 forces have been confronting each other outside the resource planet P459 for almost a week. There have been many exchanges of fire during this period. We have not received the latest information on what their form is now. After hearing this, Feng Mo suddenly thought of an idea. The Flame Thieves' lair was now empty, so it was a good time to capture it and use it as their base camp. However, we still need to send people to persuade the Bixi and Elf tribes to hold back the main force of the Thieves group. The distribution of the resource planet should be the starting point. I also need detailed information about the flaming planet, the price. After hearing this, the receptionist thought for a moment and said, "Sir Viscount, this news is given to you for free. The Yunjian Chamber of Commerce hopes to form a friendly alliance with you. The Chamber of Commerce promises to lobby the Elf and Bixi tribes for you." What a pillow! As soon as I dozed off, Feng Mo couldn't help but glance at the receptionist in front of him. He was a thoughtful person, and he could infer so much just from his 2 questions. "Oh, can you represent the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce? And I don't really recognize the strength of your Chamber of Commerce." The receptionist couldn't help but puff up his chest after hearing this, and waved his hand to release a full projection with a video window on it. This is a beautiful woman. She is half lying on the soft big bed, looking at Feng Mo with eyes full of curiosity. Let me introduce myself. Chu Yunjian, a descendant of the Chu family of the Huaiyao Empire, has long heard that the Yunshan Empire has a young starship engineer who is also a Viscount of the Empire. Today he is indeed well deserved. What a great background! The Chu family of the Huaiyao Empire and the Yuezhi of the Apocalypse Empire have the same status. They are both large families that have been inherited for nearly 10,000 years and have made great contributions to the establishment of the Star Sea Human Federation. Sure enough, it is possible to build a large starport in such a place, and to know its own detailed information, and to be able to provide such detailed intelligence services. It turns out that the Chu family is standing behind it. Thinking of this, Feng Mo simply said all his thoughts. "Miss Chu, if you can lobby the elves and the Bixi tribe on your behalf, and Feng Mo is willing to work with the 2 tribes to exploit the resource planet P459, I can suffer a small loss and only occupy 30%. The remaining 70% of the elves will be the same as the Bixi tribe. Feng Mo will have another reward after the matter is successful." After hearing this in the video, Chu Yunjian nodded lightly and said, "Viscount Feng Mo is so happy. Things will definitely succeed." By then Yunjian only wants to form an alliance with Viscount Feng Mo. The Federation is very big, and Miss Zhang Yu's Starship Trading Company can only radiate the entire Yunshan Empire. I hope that Viscount Feng Mo can make the connection and the Cloud Chamber of Commerce can obtain the authorization letter for the construction of starships for T2 Zebra and T2 Black Bear. Also, if Viscount Feng Mo wants to sell the starship copyright in the future, he can give more consideration to the Cloud Chamber of Commerce. It was a very reasonable request. If Chu Yunjian had directly helped without asking, Feng Mo would have suspected that the woman had some bad intentions. But now that he was making the request, Feng Mo felt at ease. This matter seemed simple, but the benefits involved were quite astonishing. Nowadays, T2 Zebra-class star destroyers and T2 Black Bear-class star frigates are very popular in the Yunshan Empire, making many forces jealous. However, due to the forces behind Feng Mo and the Wang family, they can only ask for authorization. However, Lao Wang's Aunt Zhang Yu has strangled these 2 starship authorizations very hard. So far, They have only authorized them to the U family of the Apocalypse Empire. This is still for Yu Xiaomeng's sake. Of course, the Yushi must be much stronger than Feng Mo and the Wang family, and it can be regarded as expanding their connections for Feng Mo and the Wang family. As for the cake, of course the bigger the better. Feng Mo has already discussed with Lao Wang, if he sells the starship design drawings in the future, it will not be a one-time deal, he will get a commission. Yes, I agree to this request. After the two clans reply, Feng Mo will hand over the authorization letter to Miss Chu. Just call me Yunjian from now on. I will give you the news within an hour. Here is also a copy of all the information about the Flame Thieves, including the type and quantity of starships, all planets under its command, population, etc. This information is considered a gift. Chu Yunjian's cold voice came from the video. Then, thank you Yunjian, from now on, call me Feng Mo. Feng Mo said. Chu Yunjian nodded after hearing this, and then hung up the video. After finishing the matter, Feng Mo returned to the main control room of the Storm, projected the information about the Flame Thieves group onto the main console, and looked at it in detail. Currently, only the Nine Masters fleet is still stationed on the Blazing Star, which includes 23 T2 class interstellar battleships, including 1 battleship, 6 destroyers, and 16 frigates. For insurance purposes, the boss assigned Lao Jiayu a T3 Bald Eagle class star destroyer. Feng Mo was very familiar with this starship. Lao Wang and Mo Zhu both had one. In addition, there is a complete set of T2 level defenses on the Flame Star, including surface-to-air laser cannons, star nets and other defense means. There are also hundreds of T1 civilian starships, which are not within the scope of Feng Mo's consideration, because the T1 civilian starships do not have long-range strike capabilities and cannot enter the body, so they cannot constitute combat effectiveness at all. Inform all captains to prepare to set sail. We will plan another navigation route and ask to bypass the central battlefield and arrive directly at the Flame Star. Feng Mo pointed at the virtual projection of the Storm Galaxy and then marked the Flame Star from it. Yes, Commander. Al responded, then brought up the holographic screens one by one, tapping the screens quickly with his slender fingers, inputting data one after another. Seeing Al's serious look, Feng Mo couldn't help but reached out and caressed Al's right cheek. A blush appeared on Al's face while he was working, and even the rhythm of tapping on the screen was a bit chaotic. Feng Mo couldn't help but smile knowingly when he saw this, thinking that he was already 23 years old and had never tasted the taste of a woman. He was indeed a bit unnoble. Thinking about the life he lived as a monk before, he wanted to eat meat. As long as the attack on the Flame Star goes smoothly, this wish will surely come true soon. Ding dong. At this time, Feng Mo's smart terminal rang, and after opening it, he saw the message sent by Chu Yunjian. The matter is done. Let's distribute it according to the way you said. The information also came with 2 star network contact information, one for the Queen of the Elf tribe and the other for the King of the Bixi tribe. The fleet sets off, targeting the Flame Star. Chapter 36 Flaming Star, Flame Star. At the headquarters of the Flame Thieves group, Master Jiayu picked up the wine glass with his right hand and drank it in one gulp. He grabbed a beast thigh from the plate with his left hand and took a big bite. It was a good life to drink and eat meat. Master Jiayu, who didn't care to sigh, suddenly frowned and his body tensed up. After another half a minute, he let out a long breath and said, "Sweet." Then, he pulled the beautiful woman under the dining table into his arms, kissed her directly without hesitation, and said, "Sixth sister-in-law, you are awesome." The beauty in her arms murmured, then burped, but a flash of disdain flashed in her eyes as she looked to the side. Master Jiayu didn't see sister-in-law Six's eyes. After feeling relieved, he picked up an animal leg from the dining table and threw it out the window. Then he looked at the people in ragged clothes who were working hard outside and were fighting for the animal leg and laughed. At this time, Master Jiayu seemed to be the god of the planet. All living creatures were at his mercy, and life and death depended on his mood. At this time, he was so drunk that he didn't care about the safety of the Flame Star. In other words, in his consciousness, No one dared to attack the Flame Star. But this time he was unlucky and met Feng Mo. At this time, in the universe outside the Flame Star, a fleet came here quietly. Report to Commander, the Flame Star is ahead. This is the maximum detection range of the planetary defense radar. It will be discovered within 1 minute of sailing again. Commander, please give the order. Al sat in front of the main console and reported to Feng Mo. Al, order the number 1 destroyer to bring 4 frigates to destroy the enemy planet's defenses. Destroyer number 2 and number 3 lead 4 frigates to control the enemy starport and resist all civilian starships. Storm, the 4th destroyer leads 4 frigates to meet the enemy fleet head-on. The mecha team is responsible for destroying all the enemy's resistance troops on the ground and taking control of the enemy's headquarters. If there is resistance, they will be killed without mercy. The T3 Copper Hammer provides logistical support. Act now. Yes. Following Feng Mo's order, the Storm Fleet moved. The entire fleet speeded up instantly and divided into 3 to move towards the Flame Star. At this time, in the radar room of the Lion Star ground base, 4 big men were just drinking strong drinks, teasing each other, and telling dirty jokes. The radar room is an important military location. They don't dare to bring girls here to show off, so they can only talk nonsense. Alert! The radar is generating images and has detected an energy body moving at high speed approaching the blazing star. Alert! Radar is generating images. Detected. Alert! Radar is on. The entire radar room shone with red light, and 3 alarms sounded. The 4 tipsy people sobered up instantly, quickly threw the wine bottles aside, and took the lead in checking the virtual image. Enemy, attack! The leader of the big man quickly pressed the red button in the middle of the main console and said quickly, Master Ninth, there is an unknown fleet approaching the Flame Star. Master Ninth, please order the fleet to meet the enemy immediately. Repeat, Master Ninth, there is an unknown fleet approaching. Allow the fleet to meet the enemy and open the planet's defense system. If the unknown fleet continues to advance, allow the first attack. After the headmaster Jiu heard the alarm at the headquarters, he immediately threw sister-in-law 6 in his arms to the ground, and then quickly put on the interstellar combat uniform. At this time, a starship flew directly over the base, and a beam of light fell and enveloped the headmaster Jiu. Optical tweezers technology. When the beam disappeared, Master Jiu had appeared in the main control room of the starship. Speed up the fleet and follow me to meet the enemy. Master Ninth gave the order and the fleet sailed into the universe. Just when it left the Flame Star, suddenly, a T2 class interstellar frigate in the fleet exploded and turned into a ball of fire. The adjutant beside him was stunned and looked at Master Jiu. Master Ninth's eyes widened. He hit him with a big nose punch, and roared, "Look what I'm going to do, fight back to meet the enemy." The situation has become very obvious. An unknown fleet opened fire and destroyed a T2 star battleship without saying a word. This shows that the other party does not want to beef with you, but only wants to beat you. Although I don't know the origin of this unknown fleet, it is no longer important. Only when the opponent is hurt will there be other possibilities. Now that the eldest brother and others are gone, he, the Ninth, must protect his hometown. Call the ground defenses for coordinated operations, and at the same time let all the T1 starships parked in the starport move. The enemy fleet does not have many starships, so we can gain advantage through numbers. Master Jiu said to the adjutant while looking at the holographic simulation screen. Within the time he gave the order, 2 more T2 star frigates were destroyed, and his fleet continued to fire at local starships, but they were all blocked by star shields and could not cause any damage at all. The T2 battleship laser main gun has been charged, and the T3 bald eagle main gun has been charged. Please give instructions. The adjutant on the side reported. Aim at the enemy T3 battleship and blast it. Following Master Ninth's order, the 2 starships simultaneously emitted dazzling beams of light, directly hitting the storm, but were blocked by the star shield. Report: the storm was attacked by a local starship, and the star shield energy remaining is 63%. Ow, reported to Feng Mo on the side. It doesn't matter. The opponent can only fire one shot at most, but it can't break the star shield of the storm. As for those T2 interstellar battle arrays, they are all rubbish. Notify all captains and mecha squad leaders to try not to destroy the surface buildings of the Flame Star. These are ours, and future reconstruction will also be a cost. We must know how to save money. It was obvious that Feng Mo already regarded Blazing Star as his own property. Just when Feng Mo was fighting with the fleet of the Ninth Master, the Mellow Sisters commanded the number 2 and number 3 interstellar destroyers and brought 4 T2 Black Bears to the Flame Star port. Looking at the hundreds of T1 civilian starships that had just taken off, the two women's eyes showed a bloodthirsty light. Half-orcs inherited half of the orc genes and were naturally warlike. They could restrain themselves at ordinary times, but they would release their nature on the battlefield. After the main and secondary guns of the two destroyers were fully charged, they hit the enemy with one shot. The density of the enemy civilian starships was too large, so they didn't need to aim too much to fire. Later, the Mellow Sisters still felt unsatisfied, and commanded the starship to sail to the center of the enemy fleet. The star shield was turned to the maximum power, and the close-range rapid-fire laser cannon roared, and a large number of civilian starships collapsed at the touch. At this time, the slaves who were working in the starport raised their heads and looked at the sky, and they were all stunned. Two huge starships were seen hovering in the air, with dense lasers emitted from both sides of the ship. All the T1 starships within a certain range exploded one by one, and a large number of starship wreckage fell to the ground like dumplings. The sporadic attacks of those T1 starships, even if they hit the T3 Mantis, were intercepted by a green star shield and could not cause any damage at all. There were also 4 relatively smaller starships, which were even more domineering. They rammed the T1 civilian starships, and the 2 giant claws on the bow tore apart countless starships. At the same time, the close-range rapid-fire guns kept sweeping at the ground, and a large number of T1 and 2 lethal interstellar mechas were directly smashed. When these slaves reacted, they all lay on the ground and trembled. Some of the more timid ones felt cold in their crotches and directly shed water. At the same time, a team of huge mechas more than 10 meters high flew over, holding laser guns and wearing flame-marked combat uniforms on the ground and shooting at the interstellar thieves. The thief who was hit didn't have time to shout and was directly turned into minced meat. The blood mist sprayed on the ground and turned into a long red river. Put down your weapons, lie on the ground, and don't kill those who don't resist. 10 interstellar mechas repeated this sentence endlessly. Everyone who heard it, whether they were slaves, civilians, or even thieves, put down their weapons at the same time and crawled on the ground. Chapter 37 The Miserable Ninth Master. Inside the Bridge of the Storm. Al stood behind Feng Mo, and in front of them was a virtual screen of the entire battlefield. Among them, the battlefield on Huaking's side was the easiest. It only required destroying the planet's defenses. With the cooperation of the mecha team, the progress was extremely fast. In fact, although ordinary T2 planet defenses cannot destroy ordinary T3 starships, they can still consume all the energy of their star shields. Without star shields, T3 will also be at risk of falling. But in fact, the defenses of the Blazing Star are completely pieced together, with many loopholes. It is okay to intercept and destroy ordinary T2 starships, but it is not enough against the T3 Dao Mantis. Wanting to be more successful than New Huagan, the Mellow Sisters slaughtered each other head-on. This feeling of killing made the two women extremely excited. If Feng Mo were here at this time, he would probably be raped by the two women. The final screen showed the main fleet. At this time, T1 civilian starships took off one after another and gathered around the Nine Masters' fleet. Although the Mellow Sisters tried their best to intercept and destroy them, it was impossible for hundreds of starships to intercept them all. It is understandable that some came over to support them. At this time, 4 T2 Black Bears were galloping across the Star Sea, and their two huge claws shredded countless starships. After all, the T2 Black Bears did not have star shields. Even if they were built with T3 grade materials, Their hulls suffered a lot of damage. The T-3 Bald Eagle of Master Jiyu was stopped by Celia's T-3 Tau Mantis, and the two destroyers exchanged fire wildly. Let the T-2 Black Bear retreat and the Storm move forward at full speed. The priority targets are the enemy fleet T-2 and T-1 starships. The close defense rapid-fire laser cannon will fully intercept the enemy ship's attack. The main and secondary guns will enter the charging state. Feng Mo gave an order, and the Storm began to accelerate. In a few seconds, it reached a star speed of more than 100 knots, and it was still rising. Al did not let it accelerate to the top speed, but maintained it at a star speed of 130 knots. Report: the T-3 class interstellar battleship has moved and is heading towards our fleet. The adjutant next to Master Jiyu reported the news. Master Jiyu, who was trembling with Huakin, listened happily. He was really not afraid of the ants biting the elephant to death. His star shield had infinite energy, right? Notice, after the ground ship enters the encirclement, all starships will fire 3 rounds at the same time, trying to break the star shield of the ground ship, and then the soul will be killed by the T-3 Bald Eagle's cannon. At this time, in the holographic virtual screen in the main control room, the Storm plunged into the enemy fleet and was attacked wildly by the enemy fleet in an instant. In the face of these offensive winds, they were not dismissive. The close-range rapid-fire laser cannons were fully fired, with an interception rate of over 90%. All attacks that could not be blocked were blocked by Star Shield. The main ones intercepted were enemy T-2 starships. The remaining civilian T-1s did not pose much of a threat, and the Star Shield energy only dropped by less than 5%. However, the main turbolaser gun of the Storm has not been fired. It is enough to use the secondary laser cannon to attack these T-2 starships. They will call them one by one and destroy them. T-3 Bald Eagle Bridge. Report: most of the ground defense system has been destroyed and is now completely paralyzed. Report: the headquarters was captured by a group of interstellar mechs. Report: the starport was captured by 1 T-3 class star destroyer and 4 T-2 class star frigates. We have less than 50 T-1 civilian starships left, and all the rest listening to the bad news one after another. Master Jiyu felt furious, and his anger went straight to the sky. At the same time, he became more timid and cautious, gritted his teeth and said, "We can't go on like this. The only way to save the Flame Star is to carry out a decapitation operation. Charge the main and secondary guns, lift the starship engine restrictions, and target the enemy T-3 star battleship." Huakin, who was originally dealing with the T-3 Bald Eagle, realized something was wrong immediately. The enemy starship did not fight back when faced with the attack of the T-3 Tau Mantis. Moreover, the speed of the starship continues to increase, and has exceeded 200 knots. This is the rhythm of releasing the starship engine. He quickly reported to Feng Mo, "Sir Commander, the enemy T-3 Bald Eagle has completely released the starship engine restrictions. The current star speed is 230 knots. The main and secondary guns have been charged and are rushing towards the Storm." Feng Mo smiled calmly after hearing this. This was because the rabbit was getting anxious and was about to bite people. At the same time, I began to feel heartache. Under such acceleration, the engine life of the T-3 Bald Eagle would be shortened by at least several decades. Lao Wang also used this trick before, but he only dared to accelerate to nearly 200 knots of star speed. "Now that we are here, let this battle be over," Feng Mo muttered to himself. At this time, Master Jiyu was almost crazy. After the main and secondary guns were charged, he immediately issued the firing order. 3 bright orange beams were seen shooting out, directly hitting the Storm star shield. However, just when Master Ninth gave the order to fire, the Storm fired a thick light blue beam at the same time, hitting the T-3 Bald Eagle's star shield at the same time. After the previous battle between the T-3 Bald Eagle and the T-3 Tau Mantis, the star shield energy was less than 40%. The main gun of the Storm is also equipped with a 2600 mm turbo laser main gun. This caliber of main gun has only been seen on the T-4 starship, and it is extremely powerful. Faced with the simultaneous bombardment of the T-3 Bald Eagle's main and secondary guns, the energy of the Storm Star shield was instantly reduced by 30%. However, facing the storm, the gun directly broke the T-3 Bald Eagle's star shield, and then the beam fell directly on the bridge, blasting a large hole with a diameter of more than 3 meters appeared. This is because of the star shield interception, and there is not much energy left in the beam falling on the bridge. Otherwise, this gun can directly blast through the T-3 Bald Eagle. At this time, the Ninth Master was already disheartened. He did not expect that the performance of his proud T-3 Bald Eagle was so different from that of the enemy's unknown T-3 battleship. But what he did not know was that at this time, in the bridge of the T-3 Mantis, Huakin said coldly to the adjutant beside him, 4 proton torpedoes are launched at the same time, targeting the T-3 Bald Eagle. As soon as the voice fell, the T-3 Mantis launch silo opened, and 4 proton torpedo launchers rose, and then 4 proton torpedoes with tail flames rushed towards the T-3 Bald Eagle. Alarm! 4 proton torpedoes are detected from the rear attacking our ship. It is recommended to activate the close and rapid-fire gun to intercept. What? Proton torpedoes? Quickly activate the close and rapid-fire gun and be sure to intercept it. At this time, the Ninth Master was completely panicked. With the storm in front and the T-3 Mantis behind, he had nowhere to go and could only surrender. However, before he surrendered, the enemy's attack came again, but this time the attack was devastating. Proton torpedoes, a commonly used interstellar weapon, are usually carried on T-4 class interstellar destroyers and are extremely powerful. This luxurious disposable weapon was not carried by the T-3 Bald Eagle, and there was no money for it to be carried. The 50 close-range rapid-fire guns of the T-3 Bald Eagle fired crazily, trying to intercept 4 proton torpedoes. But the result was contrary to expectations, and only one was successfully intercepted and exploded far away from the hull of the T-3 Bald Eagle. The remaining 3 directly hit the hull armor of the T-3 Bald Eagle. Feng Mo could clearly see the starboard hull of the T-3 Bald Eagle, and the bow and stern exploded at the same time. The entire starship was shaking, and finally split into 3 petals. Fortunately, this is a T-3 class starship. If it were a normal T-2 class starship, it would have been blown to pieces long ago, and it is unknown how many people would survive. The storm activates the tractor beam to pull the broken T-3 Bald Eagle to the starport of Storm Star. Also notify all captains to clean up the battlefield and bring back all valuables. We are now a big family with a lot of expenses, so we need to know how to save money. Yes. Chapter 38 Conquering the Flaming Planet. Storm Star Harbor. The storm slowly docked in the starport, and a beam of light fell. Feng Mo took Al out of the beam and came to the starport platform. At this time, Feng Mo was wearing T-3 high-yaw level battle armor, and his eyes under the black mask were extremely cold as he scanned the corpses around him. Al behind him has experienced hundreds of battles and has no feeling for these corpses. He is wearing a light blue combat uniform that highlights his bumpy figure. His mental power is active on the body surface and Feng Mo's whole body, forming a mental shield. The 2 men were enveloped. Al, contact the captains. In 2 hours, the headquarters will gather for a meeting. Another person will be sent to the bridge of T-3 Bald Eagle to see if there are any survivors. If there are any, bring them over. Yes. Al responded, and then led a team of sailors with laser guns and ion cutters to first cut off the outer armor of the bridge, then opened the bridge hatch and worked for more than an hour. After a while, a dozen people were escorted out from the bridge, led by a big man with a flame tattoo on half of his neck. Just by looking at the tattoos, you can tell that this person is probably the 9th leader. At this time, these dozen people don't even have the strength to stand, and most of them are injured. It's good to be alive after the explosion. Feng Mo looked at the leader and the mask on his face automatically disappeared. His cold gaze seemed to hurt Master Jiayu, making him afraid to look at him. He could only turn his head away from Feng Mo. What? You seem very unconvinced, Feng Mo asked in a calm tone. After hearing this, Master Jiayu sighed and said, who can be convinced by the sneak attack? Don't forget, I still have 7 brothers. The flame thieves also have thousands of starships. Just your starships are not enough to fight. Looking at Master Jiayu, who was still speaking harshly, Feng Mo shook his head. He had lost the patience to ask questions. It was time to take over the planet. Drag these people out. I think the slaves will like them very much. Send them there. Of course, you have to watch them die. I don't want to leave any trouble. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he took Al and walked leisurely towards the outskirts of the starport. Along the way, he could see T3 Zircon-class interstellar mechs flying in the sky from time to time. Whenever mechs or starships flew by, they would crawl. People on the ground will tremble with fear. After walking out of the starport, Feng Mo found a maglev car, opened the door violently, and asked Zhao Wei to invade the vehicle network. The car slowly lifted into the air and headed towards the headquarters. After arriving at the headquarters of the Flame Thieves group, Feng Mo looked at the huge fortress, his mouth twitching slightly. He was indeed a group of bandits, with no aesthetics at all. In fact, building this kind of fortress is useless at all. Any T2 starship can be destroyed with one laser cannon. These youngsters are used to living a rough life and are not refined at all. According to the information provided by Chu Yunjian, Storm Star is a second-level habitable planet with large winds and sand and scarce water sources. When it was not discovered, the planet had a primitive population of more than 800 million and was rich in various products. Until the Flame Thieves discovered this living planet, the population dropped sharply to 500 million in just a few decades, of which more than 200 million strong laborers were assigned to 7 or 8 resource planets for mining. But in just a few decades, at least more than 100 million people have been trafficked, killed, and exhausted to death. These beasts have done all kinds of evil. Of course, this is also the epitome of the interstellar era. If you are not strong, you will be beaten. If you are not strong, you will be sold. Walking into the fortress-like headquarters and arriving at the main control room, he opened the hatch and saw a sexy and scantily clad woman, who was the 6th sister-in-law that Lao Jiayu had always missed. The woman was a little surprised when she saw Feng Mo, but he quickly regained his composure, and inadvertently pulled down the shoulder strap with both hands, revealing most of her fair skin. Feng Mo was unmoved and asked, "Who are you, or whose woman are you?" Seeing Feng Mo's indifferent look, the charming woman restrained her charm and said softly, "The slave's name is Xiao Jiao. She is the woman of the 6th master." Later, Lei Jiu said that the fleet led by the 6th master was surrounded by a mysterious fleet and died outside. He was also threatened by Lei Jiu, so he could only temporarily commit himself to Lei Jiu in order to survive. Feng Mo looked a little weird after hearing this. This woman's 2 mistresses were both killed by her. It was such a coincidence that I was so embarrassed that I had to let you accompany them. It's not that Feng Mo likes to kill innocent people indiscriminately. Although the charming woman in front of him looks pitiful, her eyes are lively and her thoughts are deep. Just when Feng Mo and Al first came in, this woman showed a hint of killing intent, which Feng Mo happened to catch. With the strength of Feng Mo, a level 2 genetic warrior, he could clearly see the texture of leaves from 100 meters away. All expressions of this woman could not escape Feng Mo's eyes. Moreover, she has also been with Lao Yu and Lao Jiayu. Who knows if she has feelings for these 2 people? If her love is stronger than gold, she wants to avenge them, even if the chance of it happening is 1 in 10 billion. Feng Mo the source must also be strangled. Quietly giving Al a look, the 2 had been in contact for nearly a year, and Al was taking care of him in all directions. If Feng Mo could do anything, Al knew what he was going to do. After understanding what Feng Mo meant, Al nodded slightly and said, "Madam, this place has been occupied by the Storm Fleet. Please leave for now. I will arrange a temporary residence for you." After Al finished speaking, he made a gesture of invitation. Feng Mo could clearly see that 6th sister-in-law was relieved. After giving Feng Mo a charming look, he followed Al out obediently. 2.5 minutes later, Al walked back alone, nodded to Feng Mo and said, "Commander, I have made a plan for Feng Mo Star in private. Please take a look and see if there is anything you need to add." After saying this, Ayer opened the smart terminal and projected a 3-dimensional picture. Feng Mo looked at it carefully. The first is a huge light blue sky. For a habitable planet below level 3, if you want to improve the comfort, you must install a sky, which is an energy shield. Under the sky, you can simulate the 4 seasons, rainfall, constant temperature, and resistance to various natural disasters. Under the light blue sky, Ayer has planned a total of 120 large cities, with 60 cities being built and put into use first. Based on the current population of Storm Star, there are probably less than 10 million people living in one city. Then the details are the construction of the city. A city with a strong sense of happiness must have good infrastructure, including transportation, water and electricity, commercial services, technical services, landscaping, etc. Ayer has given clear implementation measures for these. Then the entire city is refined, and the residential area, industrial area, and commercial area are planned in an orderly manner. Feng Mo was shocked after seeing it. He didn't expect Ayer to be an all-round talent. Thinking that Al is nominally the deputy commander, but in fact he is just like his personal secretary. It is a waste of talent. Such talents should be released to work independently. After a rough look, Feng Mo looked at Al with admiration and said, "The plan is very good, but it is a bit petty. The plan needs to be revised." Storm Star is not as big as Xianyun main star. From the ecological carrying capacity, Storm Star can accommodate an upper limit of about 20 billion people. But this is based on the planet's ecological carrying capacity, and does not calculate the comfort level of the population. This will be the birthplace of our power, so the population is not easy to be too large. It is temporarily planned to accommodate 5 billion people, and it can be appropriately increased later. Chapter 39 The development of the planet. So I plan to build 12 super large cities that can accommodate more than 100 million people. Build 36 large cities that can accommodate more than 50 million people. Build 365 medium-sized cities that can accommodate 10 million people. In theory, this can accommodate nearly 7 billion people, and it can be expanded later if necessary. In addition, in my plan, the sky canopy is not needed. You can order a set of artificial intelligent atmosphere from the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce, which is an intelligent sky canopy covering the entire planet. This is more conducive to the development of the planet and improves the existing environment of the planet. In addition, after catching the flame thieves, the planetary defense system must also have a T3 level, including anti-aircraft missiles, laser cannons, fortresses, radars, etc. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he looked at El with admiration. It must be said that as a succubus, Al's face and figure are close to perfect, especially the pair of sharp horns and the tail behind, which are full of exotic style. Ayer felt uncomfortable being looked at by Feng Mo, and he tried to change the subject. "Commander, your plan is very good, but we don't have that much money. According to your plan, it will take at least 4 million star coins to transform Storm Star, which is equivalent to 400 million Yunshan coins, enough to buy 4 T4 class star destroyers." Feng Mo waved his hand and said, "Money is not a problem. I plan to jointly establish a starship trading company with Yunjian Chamber of Commerce, Yushi and Yulai Starship Trade to produce and sell the T2 starships I designed. It will only take 1 to 2 years, and the problem of money will no longer be a problem. By then, it will usher in a period of rapid development, so we should pay more attention to talents on weekdays. The current 500 million people on Storm Star are our talent pool." Ayer was obviously relieved after hearing this. It would be too financially stressful to promote such a large project at one time, and the fleet would also need to be expanded. Not only combat starships, but also subsequent industrial ships and carriers need to be built, which is another considerable expense. If Feng Mo can unite many forces to form a company, even if it only takes 10% of the net profit, it will be a huge fortune for their small base. Then the two discussed in detail about the city construction and the establishment of the company. After more than an hour, captains knocked on the door one after another until all the captains were present. "Everyone, I will give you a great credit for being able to take Storm Star so smoothly today. From now on, as long as you can win the battle, I will give you whatever you want. Accept my woman and the position of commander. Those who perform well can also get rid of slavery. Feng Mo's words are undoubtedly an encouragement to these people. No one wants to be a slave for life. Of course, it is not so easy to get rid of slavery. He still has the final say on how to judge the performance. His purpose is to give them a thought. What needs to be done next is to stabilize the situation. My idea is to have the captains go to the major cities to stabilize people's hearts. By the way, inspect the mayors of each city. If they are not qualified, report directly to me. If there are stubborn resistance, kill them directly. Ordinary civilians don't care who the owner of the planet is, as long as they can eat enough and live a good life. No one will stand up to resist you. And under Feng Mo's rule, it is much better than under the rule of the flame thieves. The reason why the captains were sent to the city is, to put it bluntly, to let them see more of the complexity of human hearts and the various aspects of life. Long before the meeting, Feng Mo ordered the mecha team to go to all human settlements on Storm Star to publicize the change of ownership of the planet, and to use mechas to carry out necessary deterrence activities. Feng Mo had no choice. The technology on Storm Star was not developed. Decades ago, these humans were still primitive people, especially some civilians. They didn't even have smart terminals or smart skylights, so they could only achieve their goals in such a primitive way. This is just the first step, and the second step is being prepared. The meeting continued, and Feng Mo talked about some military discipline, such as the orcs cannot forcibly rob civilian women and men, etc. An hour later, the meeting was over, and Feng Mo's second step of the propaganda plan began. In the sky of Storm Star, 10 huge floating projection machines have been installed. In order to ensure that everyone in the world can see them, Feng Mo temporarily asked Lisa to design and build these 10 big treasures. In the sky, all 10 floating projection machines were turned on, and a holographic projection emerged. In the projection was an office, and Feng Mo sat on a chair with a friendly smile. After Feng Mo appeared, everyone in the entire Storm Star looked up at the sky at the same time, and some people who hid at home were called out by their neighbors. Before, there were starship mechas circling the starry sky, and these people knew that the planet had a new captain. Hello, everyone, I am Feng Mo, the captain of Storm Star, the commander of the Storm Fleet, and the Viscount of the Yunshan Empire. I don't like to waste time on things. Now I will tell you a few temporary regulations. This is closely related to your life, so please listen carefully. First, it is forbidden to burn, kill and loot in the chaos. Restrict gatherings, parades and other mass activities. Implement star network control and restrict random entry and exit of the city. Violators will be killed. Second, any firearms, ammunition, weapons, radioactive items, and highly toxic items are strictly prohibited. If you have the above items, please hand them over to the city management office as soon as possible after 3 days. If you don't hand them in, you will be killed. Third, from today, there will be a 3-day collective martial law. Suspend work, suspend school, stop all activities, stay at home honestly, and violators will be killed. Fourth, go to the city management office in 3 days to get the smart terminal. There will be a vote at that time. Everyone is welcome to participate. Fifth, I hope to see you again in 3 days. Have you seen the interstellar mecha patrolling in the sky? 2 hours later, people who are still on the street will be directly shot dead by the interstellar mecha. After talking about martial law, let's talk about everyone's welfare. Next, we will enter the stage of intelligent city transformation. Everyone will have a job, and wages will be paid to everyone's Star Network account on time to ensure that everyone can eat well and wear warm clothes. Of course, this is just the minimum standard. Everyone can look forward to the city where they will live in the future. That's all for today. I wish you all a happy life in the next 3 days. After Feng Mo finished speaking, 10 floating projection machines were shut down at the same time, and the holographic projection disappeared. In an instant, all the people on the planet moved. Some rushed towards home, some went to the nearest market to buy food, and some evil people took advantage of the chaos to commit crimes. etc. The mecha team led by Feng Mo patrolled the entire planet. Air also took the crew members to participate in the patrol on the captured T-1 civilian starship. When they met the rapists and looters, they killed them directly, making a great contribution to reducing food consumption. At this time, Feng Mo sat alone in a chair, and a blue screen appeared in his eyes. Task: go to the Chaos Star Sea and capture a planet as a base. Completed. Reward: 1,000 points. T-3C Lion-class interstellar aircraft carrier blueprint. Feng Mo clicked to receive the task reward. Task reward received: 1,000 points. T-3C Lion-class interstellar aircraft carrier blueprint ×1. After receiving the task reward, Feng Mo opened the points mall and switched to the T3 starship blueprint list. After a rough browse, he locked the starship. Chapter 40 T3 Reindeer-class interstellar carrier. T3 Reindeer-class star carrier. This starship is really Feng Mo's dream ship. Check its data carefully. T3 Caribou-class star carrier. Armor strength: 300 units. Hull data: 6 km × 1.5 km × 1.1 km. Speed: 40 knots. Star speed. Warp engine: level 3. Star shield energy: level 3, 100% weapon. T3 level close range rapid fire laser cannon ×180. The reason why it is called a carrier ship is that it has a large capacity. This carrier ship also takes into account the thickness of the armor. The star speed is a bit slow, but it does not matter, and the cost is not very high. Only about 50 million Yunshan coins. The summary is that the price-performance ratio is very high, and it is an urgently needed item. The Storm Star is full of waste and needs a lot of resource investment, and the carrier ship can come in handy. The next step is to deal with the flame thieves. The mission just rewarded the T3C Lion Star carrier blueprint. The data is as follows: T3C Lion-class interstellar aircraft carrier, armor strength: 270 units. Hull data: 1.5 km × 330 meters × 273 meters. Speed: 160 knots. Star speed. Warp engine: level 3. Star shield energy: level 3, 100% weapons. T3 level starfighter ×300. T3 level interstellar self-destruction machine ×100. T3 level star bomber ×50. This interstellar aircraft carrier is about twice the size of the Storm and is equipped with 3 types of drones. Among them, interstellar self-destructors and interstellar bombers are the hardest hit to starships. Of course, with such great power, its cost is also very beautiful. Feng Mo estimated that it would not be less than 23 million Yunshan coins, and its construction time would not be less than 2 months. Still short of money. There are too many places that need money in such a big stall. Feng Mo rubbed his temples and turned around to the bedroom. Today's battle was very energy-consuming, and he fell asleep after a while. The Bridge of the Flame. This is an assembled T3 interstellar battleship, the main ship of the Flame Thieves fleet. In the main control room, 7 big men were sitting on the floor, with a variety of food and drinks in front of them. The leading man was wearing a red combat uniform with an orange flame embroidered on his chest. His rough face paired with a ferocious smile made people shudder. Now, the situation has reached a stalemate. The Elf tribe and the Bixi tribe are biting us like crazy. Our hometown was attacked by an unknown force again. I don't know whether Lao Jiayu is alive or dead. Now we are in a dilemma. What can we do? Brothers, please feel free to speak up. After the boss finished speaking, he looked around everyone with his tiger eyes and looked first at the second in command next to him. The second master looked at him, hesitating and unable to speak, and finally lowered his head in shame. Focusing on the third child, the third boss smiled honestly and said, "Brother, you know me. As the third child, I only know how to fight, fool around, and sleep with women." After saying this, he touched the back of his head honestly, lowered his head slightly, and his eyes were full of intelligence. "Brother, you know me. The fourth only likes men and can't think of paying attention to him. Anyway, whatever the elder brother says, the fourth will do it." The fourth boss looked at the boss and said with admiration in his eyes. Then the headmaster looked around and saw that no one could do anything, so he had to pick up the bottle and take a swig of strong liquor. "Since you have no idea, Just listen to me. Starting tomorrow, the third and fourth brothers will be in a group, and the seventh and eighth brothers will be in a group. They will stay for 7 days, as long as they persist for 7 days. The second, fifth and I will lead the fleet. Let's return to the Flame Star first. I want to see how strong that mysterious fleet is. Everyone should obey the instructions of the Chief Master. After eating and drinking, they said goodbye one by one. The second and fifth sons returned to the fleet to prepare for departure tomorrow. The fourth son looked at the Chief Master affectionately and left with an expression as if he was ready to die. After the third, seventh and eighth children left the flame, these three people got together again to plot something. At this time, Feng Mo was sleeping soundly. In the early morning of the next day, Feng Mo was fully dressed and sat in the main control room, without waiting for him, and his consciousness had entered the Star Network space. A luxurious room, a tea table, 4 small stools, 1 man and 3 women. Feng Mo picked up the teacup and took a sip. The aroma of tea overflowed. He saw that the 3 girls in front of him had become best friends and talked about everything since they met. Feng Mo felt a little tired and tapped his fingers. The tea table looked at the 3 women and said, "You 3, after Feng leaves, you can reminisce about the past however you want. Can we talk about business first?" After, the 3 girls were interrupted from chatting. They all gave Feng Mo a big eye roll. As an elder, the aunt took the lead and said, "Okay, let Mo give the orders. Let's make an appointment to go shopping together later." Hearing that the 3 women stopped chatting, Feng Mo breathed a sigh of relief, and then said seriously, "I believe you all know how popular the T2 destroyers and frigates I sold to my aunt are now. My idea is that the 4 of you and I will work together to open a starship trading company. The company covers all common models of T2 starships. Auntie, I'd like to trouble you to sell the copyright of the 2 T2 starship drawings to the new company. I will provide 3 more T2 drawings here, namely battleships and aircraft carrier starships, industrial ship design drawings. Let me explain in advance that I only want 30% of the shares, and the remaining 3 of you can distribute them freely. There is also one condition. I need a batch of T3 level materials and smart canopies for building starships. These need to be sent to the Storm Star as soon as possible. Money deducted from the dividends. I will not be responsible for the management of the new company in the end." Feng Mo took a sip of the tea after he finished speaking, then looked at the 3 women in silence. For a moment, everyone was silent, and the 3 women were quickly calculating the gains and losses. The youngest and oldest Zhang Yu took the lead and said, "I agree. If Mo wants to sell the starship designed by him in the entire Federation, none of us can do it. Only a joint venture is the best way out. As for the shares, I only want 20%. I agree with Sister Yu. I only want 20% of the shares. The remaining 30% will be given to the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce. However, the materials and sky curtains that the boss wants need to be provided by Sister Yunjian and delivered to Storm Star as quickly as possible." After hearing this, Chu Yunjian first looked at the 2 women with gratitude, then rolled his eyes at Feng Mo, and then said, "Send me the list of materials, and it will be delivered within 2 days. In addition, I will give you a good news. The Flame Pirates, the bandit group, was originally planned to be led by 4 fleets, and 3 fleets returned to Storm Star to settle accounts with you." Who knew? The 3rd brother suddenly changed his mind and fled with the 7th and 8th brothers. The big boss had no choice but to fight and retreat. In the end, the 4th brother was killed in the battle, and the bandit group was torn apart. In this battle, the Elves and the Bisi tribes each suffered losses. Now the 2 tribes have withdrawn, and the eldest brother retreated to a planet on the edge of the galaxy with the remnants. I have sent you the coordinates. After listening, Feng Mo nodded to indicate that he understood. In fact, his heart was already in turmoil. With such detailed information, even the coordinates of the planet where the Flame Bandits retreated were known. The intelligence system of Chu Yunjian or the Huaiyao Chu family was really terrible. Fortunately, there was a great interest entanglement between them, and Chu Yunjian had no reason to touch her, otherwise Feng Mo would not doubt it at all, and the Chu family would definitely secretly capture him and torture him for the design drawings. But then again, Feng Mo is also a member of the nobility, and some methods are not applicable to him. The Chu family is not without hostile forces, but when the benefits are large enough, someone will definitely do something dirty. I've sent you the list. You guys chat. I'm leaving first. Pay more attention to the company's affairs. I hope to see a considerable dividend in half a year. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he immediately cut off the Star Network space and ordered Zhao Wei to shut down the Star Network and refuse all calls. Chapter 41 Battle Preparation. Feng Mo, I'll kill you and you still want dividends after half a year, so go ahead and eat shit. Sure enough, after reading the list sent by Feng Mo, Chu Yunjian's face turned green and he quickly called Feng Mo's video, but the call failed. Feng Mo logged off early and couldn't hear any of this. It's no wonder Chu Yunjian was so angry. Searched on Google. The list that Feng Mo passed to her included the construction materials for 50 T3 interstellar mechs and the construction materials for 36 T3 starships. The most annoying thing is that Feng Mo Shuo's canopy is actually an artificial intelligence atmosphere, and the price difference between the two is 10 times. The total external selling price of these items will not be less than 1 billion Yunshan coins, which is more than 10 million star coins when converted into stars. Even the internal price of the Chamber of Commerce will not be less than 9 million star coins. These star coins are enough to be worth the entire property of the Earl of the Empire, whose family does not do business. Chu Yunjian gritted his teeth. If Feng Mo had to bite him to death here, she would be taking advantage of her, but there was nothing he could do about it, because he had promised 12 before. Just when she was sulking, there was a beeping sound. Chu Yunjian opened the terminal. It was a message from Feng Mo. After gritting his teeth and opening it, his original sullenness turned into a soft smile. Salute to Mr. Chu. There are 3 starship design drawings internally. The company will be handed over to Mr. Chu. In the future, Feng Mo will follow Mr. Chu's lead. Oh, and don't forget to name the company, Feng Mo. On the other side, Feng Mo, who had withdrawn from the Star Network space, first sent a message to Yu Xiaoming, asking her to help purchase a T3 level planet defense system. However, Feng Mo did not have that much money and only gave her 300,000 star coins. After contacting Yu Xiaoming, Feng Mo immediately turned on the holographic projection of the smart terminal, and a light blue 3-dimensional star map appeared, with a resource planet marked in red on it. This is where the flame thieves are hiding. After Feng Mo called Al over, the two of them studied how to fight together. After observing the star picture, Al said, "This planet is located on the edge of the Storm Galaxy, surrounded by a large asteroid belt. The space magnetic field fluctuates greatly. The radar system is good and bad. When the fleet arrives there, it is easy to get lost even if there's a star map to guide it." Feng Mo nodded. "This is the biggest problem. The boss must have thought so too. This area is very good, easy to defend but difficult to attack. No matter how difficult it is, we must fight. We can't stop fighting just because of difficulties. It is very necessary to eradicate the roots. If we are not afraid of thieves, we are afraid that thieves will miss us. If the boss continues to live, I will really have trouble sleeping and eating." Al, who knew Feng Mo very well, couldn't help but roll his eyes. The commander was good at everything, but he was just as petty as a needle. "If you must fight, I suggest purchasing a batch of fixed magnetic materials to apply on the ship body. This can reduce the impact of violent fluctuations in the magnetic field on the starship." The suggestion was very pertinent, but the fleet did not have anyone familiar with the asteroid belt. If we ventured deep into it, we might be ambushed by the flame thieves. But it's not enough if you don't fight. The latest tasks of the system have been refreshed. Mission: annihilate the flame thieves group, kill the boss. Reward: 1,000 points. T3 Boxer class star missile ship. Feng Mo was very greedy for this reward. An interstellar missile ship, which could also be called an interstellar weapons arsenal. The reason is that this interstellar battleship uses missiles as its main attack method. Most interstellar battleships in the interstellar era use lasers as their main attack method, but missiles are definitely not weaker than lasers, and sometimes they are stronger. In particular, the fusion of lasers and missiles is even more intense. The interstellar missile ship has great advantages. but also great shortcomings. The disadvantage is that because a large amount of missile ammunition and energy are stored in the cabin, the entire starship is like a powder keg. Once the hull is exploded by an enemy ship, it will be extremely dangerous. It is a star warship that requires high protection. But don't underestimate its defense methods. Generally, missile ships are equipped with high armor and high star shield defense methods. It is still difficult to blast away its hull. There is no need to describe the advantages in detail. Firepower coverage. The firepower of a T-3 missile ship is equivalent to that of a small fleet. In addition to the conventional missiles that come with the ship, it is also loaded with a large number of disposable missiles. It belongs to the kind of battlefield where one can only hit one wave and then call it a day. Although missile ships are good, they cannot be built in large quantities, otherwise, they are too expensive. The missiles poured out by the T-3 missile ship at its maximum capacity are enough to buy a T-2 destroyer. Most people really can't afford it. Killing 1,000 enemies will cost you 800 yuan. Killing 1,000 enemies will cost you 800 yuan. Among the major empires, the Apocalypse Empire loves missile ships the most, and has also changed destroyers and battleships into missile ships one after another, just because they have money. But Feng Mo is different. He is poor. Although he is eager for the reward of Xinhuo, this missile ship should still be used with caution. 3 days later. Storm Star has lifted its state of martial law, and civilians are expected to go to work. Everything seems to be unaffected, except that there are hundreds of thousands more corpses in the mass graves in the eastern suburbs. At the same time, Al gathered all the previous slaves, announced the cancellation of their slave status, and turned them into migrant workers, allowing them to follow the staff of the Ministry of Construction to build new cities. In the past 3 days, Al followed all the captains, conducted on-the-spot dispatches to all cities on the Storm Star, and temporarily elected a group of available officials from all the administrators. At the same time, using Xianyun Prime as a template, 8 departments were established: the Military Department, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Civil Affairs, the Ministry of Security, the Ministry of Industry, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Science and Technology, and the General Administration of Construction. Among them, Feng Mo serves as the director, Al serves as the military minister, Feng Tanyi serves as the security minister, Alyssa serves as the science and technology minister, Luca serves as the finance minister, Lacey serves as the civil affairs minister, and the remaining 3 are the industry ministry, the education ministry and the construction administration. Departments are selected locally. Of course, Galaxy is only part-time, but Feng Mo wants to train these 2 sisters to become the 2nd and 3rd Al. That morning, Feng Mo took Al and others to wait at the starport. Chu Yunjian was coming. This was good news. Also coming with her were 3 T-3 class interstellar carriers, which contained what Feng Mo wanted. Looking at the woman walking out of the beam in front of him, Feng Mo's eyes lit up. People in the interstellar era were all good-looking, but there were very few beauties with such distinctive features as Chu Yunjian. A face of national peace and prosperity paired with a red combat uniform, a tall figure, just the right proportions, and a cool temperament are undoubtedly telling the world that this person in front of him is not something that anyone can reach. Perhaps because Feng Mo cheated her before, Chu Yunjian didn't give Feng Mo any smile, but he had a good impression of Al. Alyssa and the staff of the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce went to the interstellar carrier to unload materials, while Feng Mo took everyone back to the base. "Welcome, Ms. Chu, to my humble home." After Feng Mo walked into the office, he made a witty remark. Chu Yunjian, who had not given him a good look along the way, showed a rare smile and joked, "I didn't expect that Lord Viscount has such a unique aesthetic. He only likes golden things. Instead, I will give Lord Viscount a gold bed so that you can sleep with gold as your pillow at night." Feng Mo took a look at the layout of the office. It used to be the bedroom of the leader of the Flame Thieves group. It was turned into an office after Feng Mo took it over, but it was not renovated. The boss seems to be particularly fond of gold. The office is full of gold jewelry, and even the walls are painted with gold paint. The whole room is golden and eye-catching. If Ms. Chu dares to give it away, Feng Mo will dare to take it. It's better to save a little bit. Ms. Chu doesn't know that Storm Star is really poor now. It still owes the company more than 10 million star coins. It's almost impossible to open the pot. Okay, don't cry like you're poor here. I didn't want to pursue the matter of cheating on me. I came here to give you some more information and talk to you. By the way, if you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42 Asteroid Belt. Let's talk about the information first. Feng Mo restrained his teasing look and said seriously. After hearing this, Chu Yunjian gave Feng Mo a roll of his eyes, muttered something Philistine in a low voice, and then said seriously, "Have you ever heard of Dan Qiao's family?" Feng Mo frowned and then asked tentatively, "You mean the family of Marshal Qiao, Duke of the Apocalypse Empire?" Chu Yunjian picked up the teacup and took a sip before saying, "This is the Qiao family. The feud between the Qiao family and the Yuezhi has existed since ancient times. Ever since the news spread that the four families were going to jointly open a starship trading company, the Qiao family has been quite active." Chu Yunjian said meaningfully. "Would those behemoths like the Qiao family take the initiative to deal with a little viscount like me?" "Of course not. The Qiao family. You are just a big ant in their eyes. If you can't design a T5 starship in one day, nothing will happen. Those below T5 are all scum, but the affiliated families of the Qiao family can give you some help. It's still possible to block it." Feng Mo instantly understood after hearing this. This habit of lower-ranking people taking the initiative to speculate on superiors has been around since ancient times. There are always some self-righteous people who can't see their identity and take the initiative to help the superiors with things. Once something happens, that person will be the one doing the work, the sinner who tops the vat. Unfortunately, there are quite a few such people. The summary can be summed up in one sentence: class crossing has been bloody since ancient times. I'm here today to tell you this. If you pay more attention, Dan Yuezhi and Hua Yao Chu will be your help if anything happens. One last thing, when will you release the T3 Starship blueprints in your hand for the company to produce and sell? Of course Feng Mo knew that the Yuezhi and the Chu family would side with him, but he still needed to be strong. The reason why he suppressed the T3 Starship blueprints and did not let them go on the market was because he did not want to be deciphered by a group of starship engineers. Someone who wants to mess with you will recruit a group of starship engineers to analyze your starship blueprints to find weak points, which will make him very passive. When the Storm Fleet has the T4 Starship, it will hand over a set of T3 Starship drawings to the company for production and sales. Ms. Chu should understand why I do this. Chu Yunjian nodded slowly after hearing this, and then said, "As long as you always have shares in the company and bring all the eliminated and unused design drawings to the company for production and sale, the Yu and Chu clans will stand behind you." This is the promise made by Chu Yunjian and Yu Xiamen to you. It is also the promise given to you by the entire Chu and Yu clans. I have said all that needs to be said, and I am leaving. After Chu Yunjian finished speaking, he drank the fragrant tea in the cup, stood up and left. Feng Mo didn't bother and simply sent Chu Yunjian away. This kind of woman was not something that ordinary people could subjugate. He didn't have this idea, so he always treated Chu Yunjian as a partner. Early the next morning, Feng Mo also received a steward from the Yuezhi Chamber of Commerce. This steward brought the T3 level planetary defense system that Feng Mo needed most, including surface-to-air missiles, laser cannons and a series of defensive weapons, plus smart systems. He also told Feng Mo about the trouble he was about to face. Just like what Chu Yunjian said yesterday, there will always be villains who will make things difficult for Feng Mo to be careful. After sending the housekeeper away, Feng Mo held a second meeting. Hu Qin commanded the No. 1 destroyer to stay behind with two T2 Black Bears. With the T3 planetary defense system, even if the Flame Thieves group launches a fleet sneak attack, they will return without success. The Stormfleet will set out with me tomorrow. The target is the asteroid belt. Sir, Commander, the asteroid belt is right in front of us. Just being close to the asteroid belt makes the fleet radar a little unstable. We can release the tractor beam to connect the fleet and prevent the starship from getting lost. Ow, stood behind Feng Mo and bowed. Okay, all fleets release tractor beams to connect to the starships. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he suddenly thought of a story he saw in his previous life. The iron rope connected the ship, the Suchao Navy could break it, and the fire burned Red Cliff. Now he is the Iron Chain ship, and the Flame Thieves occupy the fire character, but he is not the wife cow. After entering the asteroid belt, the radar was good and bad, so the automatic aiming could no longer be used, otherwise all the shells would be deflected. Fortunately, Feng Mo used his preparation time in the past few days to prepare a lot of old-fashioned equipment. Starry sky rangefinders, starry sky telescopes and other old-fashioned equipment did not affect the cannon launch at all, and with the high luck value, it can be said that the effect is almost the same as having radar. Didn't the Flame Thieves choose to hide here just because of this high-frequency fluctuating magnetic field? Here, they can only rely on aiming and firing. After training, the Flame Thieves must be more accurate than ordinary crew members, but he didn't expect Feng Mo to have a special talent. The Stormfleet sailed all the way according to the star map coordinates given by Chu Yunjian. Here it cannot enter warp speed and can only sail at the original star speed of the starship. This is why Feng Mo is unwilling to bring the T3 bronze hammer with him. The star speed is too fast. Slow. Report to Commander, traces of starships were found ahead. A crew member behind Feng Mo stood up to report. Feng Mo stood up and came to the main console, and saw a group of light spots in front of him. Counting down, there were hundreds of ships. As the Stormfleet moved forward, the light spots gradually revealed their true appearance. 1. Modified T3 class star battleship, 3 T3 Peregrine class star destroyers, and the rest are all T2 class starships. Most of them are frigates, so there is nothing to fear. Ow, reported to Feng Mahui. Don't be careless. If there are too many ants, they can kill elephants easily. If there are too many hyenas, they can even compete with lions for meat. If anyone else had said this, Elle would have sneered, but she could 100% listen to what Feng Mo said. She instantly switched to serious mode and ordered, Stormfleet continues to sail, switch battle formation. In an instant, the entire fleet constantly adjusted its deployment during the voyage, and the originally relatively loose formation gradually became solidified, forming a three-layer defense system. The interstellar frigate formed the first line of defense outside, the interstellar destroyer formed the second line of defense, and the battleship responded with firepower in the middle. At this time, the magnetic field frequency gradually recovered and became relatively stable. At the same time, a communication request was sent. Connect. A holographic video appeared in front of Feng Mo, and opposite him was a big man with a hideous face, who was the leader of the Flame Thieves group. Who are you? The boss looked at the handsome Feng Mo and asked with a more ferocious face, what do you care about me? If you have something to say, please tell me. I will send you on your way. I just want to know which force you're from. I will leave today and forgive you. The magnetic field here is completely controlled by me. Under the violent fluctuations, your fleet radar cannot be used. What are you fighting with me? Facing the boss's words, Feng Mo sneered, since I came in, I must have a way to kill you. You are talking too much nonsense. Finally, I will give you a thank you for the treasure. After hanging up the video, Feng Mo was a little excited for a while. Controlling the magnetic field, baby, it should belong to him. It can only be said that it is a waste of treasure to put it with the thief leader. Al on the side couldn't help rolling his eyes. The commander is good at everything, but he is too stingy. He is the kind of person who loses money if he doesn't pick up money when he goes out. It's really hard to be nervous. At this time, Feng Mo, who was half lying on the captain's chair, was still a little excited. He sat up, and his eyes were as sharp as a hawk staring at its prey. Al, start hunting. You must get my treasure back. Chapter 43, War Begins. 14 to more than 100. The advantage is mine. As before, Feng Mo handed over the temporary command to Ao, and he could only act as a mascot who gave orders, because Ao was more professional than him in commanding battles. 4 years of hard study could not compare to decades of experience in battles. Feng Mo still had a lot to learn. If it was just a one-on-one starship duel, Feng Mo would have no problem at all, but when it came to Star Wars, his experience was still a little lacking. Taiwan Novel Network.com Professional things should be done by more professional people, and leaders are responsible for drinking tea. There is a saying that when you are poor, you strike accurately, and when you are rich, you cover with firepower. At the beginning, when Al commanded the fleet to fight, he had to be accurate to every main and secondary gun. Now that she has half a complete fleet to command, she finally feels the feeling of rich firepower. The Storm Fleet is in an orderly formation, and the starships are closely connected to form an indestructible lineup. Frigates enter defense mode and try to intercept enemy starship attacks. Destroyers, battleship main guns for the first round of attack, secondary guns for the second round of attack, destroyer concussion missiles and proton torpedoes for the third round of attack. Ao stood on the bridge, his eyes firm, and issued an order. Instantly, as Ao's voice fell, 10 T2 Black Bear close-range rapid-fire guns were in the same direction. The main guns of the 3 T3 Blade Mantis and Storm lit up brightly. At this time, the Star Rangefinder came into play, which allowed the Storm Fleet to better measure the attack distance of enemy and friendly starships. The crew stared at the main console and adjusted the aiming. Then, in the first round of attack, the 4 main guns fired together. Second round, fire. In the second round of attack, 9 secondary guns fired together. The 2 rounds of attack were one after the other, with an interval of less than 5 seconds, and 13 beams fell directly on the left wing of the enemy fleet. This was the first time the fleet used hand aiming, and the accuracy fluctuated slightly. Originally, the 2 rounds of attack were aimed at the middle of the enemy fleet. A bunch of explosions appeared in the universe, and a small area on the left wing of the enemy fleet was in a vacuum state. Feng Mo had to sigh at the power of his talent again, because the main gun of the Storm fired a 2,600 mm turbo laser cannon beam that directly penetrated an enemy T2 frigate, and then continued to bombard a T2 destroyer. Almost in an instant, the 15 starships on the left wing of the Flame Thieves lost contact with the flagship of the boss. Report: the energy signals of the 15 starships on the left wing disappeared, and they were all destroyed by the enemy. What did you say? This news shocked the boss so much that he stood up straight, and his facial features became more ferocious. The young man on the opposite side did not follow the moral principles of martial arts. He opened fire as soon as he hung up the phone. Under 2 rounds of artillery fire, the fleet was directly damaged by more than 1/10. When the boss called up the fleet screen, he was stunned. At this time, he could only see the wreckage of starships that were bombed to pieces. Seeing the adjutant standing there blankly, the boss was furious. He slapped the adjutant on the head with a big nose and roared, "What are you waiting for? Let the fleet counterattack immediately." Damn it, I must let the young man on the opposite side see my power today. However, the attack of the Storm Fleet has not ended yet. 6 shock missiles and 12 proton torpedoes fell on the right wing of the enemy fleet again. Needless to say, the power of the proton torpedo is not worse than that of the secondary guns of the Storm. What surprised Feng Mo the most was the shock missile. The shock missile was originally used as a supplementary weapon for the laser cannon. It is a solid projectile. Generally, the shock missile can reach sublight speed. When it hits the target, because it is a solid weapon, it can pass through most energy shields. 3 T3 Mantises fired 6 shock missiles at a time. There happened to be an enemy T3 Peregrine on the left wing. The first concussion missile directly destroyed its star shield, and then the second destroyed the enemy's armor and engine. The entire T3 Peregrine was directly knocked down. A total of 6 missiles and 12 torpedoes caused a lot of damage to the enemy's left wing, destroyed 13 enemy starships, and damaged 7 enemy starships, including a T3 class destroyer. 3 rounds of attacks before and after, resulting in the enemy fleet losing 30% before the battle started, and the results were quite fruitful. How could it be so accurate without an automatic aiming system? Are all of the century-old veterans of the Star Sea Human Federation and their fleet? The big boss's face turned green at this time, and he roared wildly in the bridge. What are you still looking at? Notify the fleet to counterattack. Do you want them to catch up and defeat them one by one? The adjutant was scolded again, and he did not dare to neglect it, and quickly notified the ships to counterattack. Facing the counterattack of the enemy ship, Air was not panicked at all. Most of the shells and beams fired were intercepted by the T2 Black Bear, and some of the fish that slipped through the net also relied on the T3 ship body to resist. But as Feng Mo said at the beginning, ants bite elephants to death, and close-range rapid-fire guns also have an interception rate. Although the Storm Fleet has a terrifyingly high interception rate due to Feng Mo's talent, there will also be missed attacks. The hull armor of the T2 Black Bear was hit and pitted. If it continues, after 3 rounds of attack, although the Flame Thieves can be destroyed, at least half of the T2 Black Bear will fall. This exchange is a big victory in the Star Wars, but it is not what Air wants, so after the first round of exchange between the two sides, Air changed his tactics. The radar was sometimes good and sometimes bad in the magnetic field fluctuations, so before the battle, Al specifically asked everyone to report the starship data at any time. After a round of bombardment, the general damage to the T2 Black Bear was about 30%. The fleet maintains its formation and accelerates to cut into the weak point on the left wing of the enemy fleet. I want to fight them in close combat. The T2 Black Bear can retreat if the armor loss exceeds 70%, and the T3 Mantis will hold it. Yes. At Al's command, the entire fleet instantly changed its combat method. Due to the connection of the tractor beam, the entire fleet was like a whole. It has been wandering on the edge of the Flame Thieves group. Each time, no more than 5 starships are in close combat with its enemy fleet. It is exquisite to keep it in the range of engagement with part of the enemy fleet's starships. In this way, the average attack can allow the fleet to support it for a longer time. On the other hand, the Flame Thieves group did not gain much after the big boss ordered a counterattack. Seeing the enemy ships swooping in, the order to surround and fire did not achieve any effect. Because even if some T2 starships encircle the Storm Fleet, they will soon be torn open by the main and secondary guns of the Storm. If the opening is not stable, the whole encirclement will be useless. Star Wars are like this. The battle formations and techniques that can be used are very limited. What is being competed is the performance of the starship and the intensity of the artillery fire. Seeing the scene of starships being destroyed one after another, the big boss was a little scared. He cherished his life very much and would not take risks easily. As the saying goes, if the superior likes something, the subordinates must follow it. If the superior hates something, the subordinates will also follow it. If the soldiers are timid, the generals will be timid. The big boss dare not fight desperately, and the subordinates dare not even more. So all the captains who were defeated by the wind were passive and lazy, and did not engage in direct contact with the Storm Fleet. After 2 more rounds of artillery fire, seeing that the enemy fleet was less than half of the original, Al issued the last order. The fleet cuts into the enemy's center, the main and secondary guns of the Storm begin to charge, and the decapitation operation officially begins. Chapter 44, Annihilation of the Flame Bandits. I hope readers will remember our domain name TaiwanNovelNetwork.com. Cut off the tractor beam with the T2 Black Bear. The frigates will move on their own to engage in hand-to-hand combat with the enemy starships, and the Storm and 3 T3 Mantises will carry out the decapitation mission. A cold flashed in Al's eyes, and his eyes were fixed on the only remaining T3-class interstellar battleship in the area, and he gave the order. This decapitation mission requires a direct charge to the middle of the enemy fleet, which is now the only place where the enemy has resistance. The remaining starships on the left and right wings have no courage to continue to fight back. For the 10 T2 Black Bears, they can just fight at will. The 4 starships, T3 Mantis and Storm, opened their star shields to resist the enemy ship's artillery fire and rushed straight to the middle enemy fleet. Relying on shock missiles and the main and secondary guns of the T-3 Mantis, they tore the enemy ships in front of them. The premise of this decapitation tactic is that your starship performance must be better than that of the enemy starship, and it must be far ahead. The enemy starship's artillery fire was all intercepted by the star shields of 4 T-3 starships. Report: the main and secondary guns of the Storm have locked onto the enemy's T-3 flagship. Please give instructions. Fire. Al gave the order directly. The 4 main and secondary cannons of the Storm, which had already been fully charged, emitted a brilliant light, once again showing the attack power of the T-4 starship. All 4 beams bombarded the flagship where the boss was. The T-3 battleship where the boss was located was a patchwork-modified version. The star shield was the same as that of an ordinary T-3 starship, but the strength of the hull was different. The strong part had 320 units, and the weak part had only 230 units. The 4 beams simultaneously focused on the T-3 flagship star shield, directly exhausting the energy of the star shield. Among them, the main gun's turbo laser beam trend continued to penetrate the weak points of its hull directly. This happened to be the ship's warehouse where weapons, energy and ammunition were stored. It couldn't be said to be a coincidence, but it should be said to be an extremely accurate hit, because there is no coincidence here in Feng Mo. It's all luck. The weapons warehouse was attacked, and a secondary explosion occurred directly. Since the war started until now, this T-3 flagship has not fired a single shot, resulting in the weapons warehouse energy being full, which increased the power of the explosion. The violent explosion swept the entire ship, and endless flames burned inside. Of course, there was no flame burning outside, because there is no oxygen in the universe. The Storm star shield energy is 32% remaining, and the starship weapon energy is 57% remaining. The other 3 T-3 Mantises are in a similar situation. At this time, looking next to Al reported. Al's decapitation operation this time completely eliminated the resistance of the flame thieves, and when Feng Mo saw the second explosion of the T-3 flagship again, a heartbroken expression appeared on his face. He secretly prayed that the big boss would not die, otherwise he would not be able to find the treasure that controls the magnetic field. He still didn't think the Storm fleet would lose to the flame thieves, nor did he have any doubts about Al's command. Feng Mo was most concerned about the treasure that controlled the magnetic field. Feng Danyi, take the mecha team and move now. Go see if there are any survivors on the enemy's T-3 flagship. Catch them all. This was the first time Feng Mo interrupted in this Star War. Al also remembered the treasure that controlled the magnetic field, and a flash of embarrassment flashed across his face. He was so immersed in the command that he forgot about it and quickly added, T-3 Dao Mantis will support 10 frigates to pursue the remaining enemy ships, and the Storm will stay on standby. On the other side, 10 T-2 Black Bears showed their 2 claws again and crashed into the enemy ship. Directly ramming the ship. This posture made the flame thieves completely unexpected. This is to die together. But the T-2 Black Bear used actions to tell them that it is impossible to die together, but it is normal to let you go to heaven. With the cross-cooperation of the 10 T-2 Black Bears, 5 T-2 starships were dismembered in an instant, shocking all the captains. This was close combat. While the T-2 Black Bear was killing, Feng Mo stared at the enemy's T-3 flagship with a nervous look, and he didn't breathe a sigh of relief until the mecha team returned. Feng Danyi brought the boss to Feng Mo and shook his head calmly. After receiving the signal, Feng Mo asked calmly, "Do you want to live or die?" The boss looked gloomy and whispered, "What do you say about life and death?" Feng Mo chuckled and said, "If you live, I will let you go, and if you die, I will throw you out. It depends on your choice." Haha, I know, you want something to control the magnetic field, right? Do you think I will give it to you? You are dreaming. The boss said hysterically. Haha, Uncle Danyi, take him away and pry open his mouth. I want to know the whereabouts of the treasure. Patriarch, leave it to me. Danyi has observed the work of professional criminal punishment personnel in the military. I will use all the methods I have seen on this guy. Feng Danny's words put great psychological pressure on the boss. People will have a high probability of collapse under high pressure, and the boss is afraid of death, so his psychological defense line is not that high. Sure enough, before Feng Danny used any means, he just dragged the boss to the hatch and collapsed and shouted, I said, as long as you spare my life, I will give you everything. The thing that controls the magnetic field is not a treasure at all, but one of the asteroids in this asteroid belt. This asteroid itself emits a large amount of biological magnetic field. I suspect that this asteroid is actually a life form similar to a hive mothership. Although it is unconsciously releasing a large amount of biomagnetic field, it only needs one laser cannon to stop releasing biomagnetic field within 3 minutes. I don't know the specific reason. Oh, Feng Mo became interested. It is very interesting that an asteroid that releases a large amount of biomagnetic field is afraid of laser. Asteroids have certain magnetic fields, but they are not biomagnetic fields. Most magnetic fields are not serious. Some asteroid belts can only affect T1 and 2 starships, but not T3 and above. According to the boss, the biomagnetic field of this asteroid is strong enough to affect T4 starships. This is a new discovery. If this asteroid belt is to be thoroughly understood, it is very suitable to serve as a secret base. Feng Mo couldn't help but think about it. It seems that the construction site of T4 starship has been settled. If it can't be built openly, it can't be built secretly. However, this matter needs to be considered in the long run. Take us to see the asteroid, and then I'll let you go. The boss nodded and pointed the way when he heard that there was hope of survival. After about 15 minutes of sailing, the storm arrived at a huge asteroid. At this time, as the storm approached, the surrounding magnetic field fluctuated greatly, the radar was completely unusable, and all electronic equipment was interfered with. This is a treasure land, it can be used. Al, try firing a shot. After hearing this, Al ordered the deployment. 5 seconds later, the secondary guns were fully charged and fired at the asteroid. As the beam shot at the asteroid, the magnetic field disappeared completely in an instant, but the secondary guns that could smash the T2 starship did not cause any damage to it. This asteroid gave Feng Mo the feeling that there was a protective film on its surface. It was just afraid of lasers, just like many creatures are afraid of light, but lasers cannot cause harm to it. It's amazing. Taking advantage of the time period when the radar was restored, Feng Mo recorded the position of the asteroid on the star map. Let's go, return home, and see how the battlefield is cleaned up. Chapter 45 Return. When the storm returned to the battle zone again, the two sides had ended the battle and the fleet was cleaning up the battlefield. Lika came over to report after collecting data. Commander, Lord Ao, the storm fleet's operation was a complete success. Among them, 3 T3 starships and 62 T2 starships of the Flame Thieves were destroyed, 17 enemy T2 starships were captured, and the remaining enemy ships all escaped. Based on humanitarianism, we launched an active rescue operation and rescued more than 17,000 people in total. They are now detained in 3 T3 mantises and batches. The battlefield is expected to be cleaned up in half an hour. According to the commander's will, all valuables will be taken away, and not a single mile will be spared. Looking at Lika's serious nonsense, Feng Mo rolled his eyes at her. Isn't this a disguised way of saying that he is stingy? Isn't he stingy? This is called thrifty. Record it. All the captured personnel will be escorted to Storm Star as slaves. If they don't starve to death with 1 meal a day, they will work themselves to death. They can obtain civilian status after working for 100 years. Feng Mo is going to torture them to death. Most of these people are first-level genetic warriors. They are good at hard work. It just so happens that Storm Star is in ruins and lacks people to do hard work. Isn't it here? As for the big boss, naturally, Al will be responsible for it. Feng Mo promised not to kill him. Al will find a way to make him commit suicide. Half an hour passed quickly. When they came, there were 14 starships, and when they returned, There were 31 starships. They were connected to each other with tractor beams. This expedition was considered a full return. The wreckage of these dozens of starships alone can be sold for millions of Yunshan coins, and the construction cost of 2 T2 Black Bears has come out. With the end of this battle, the Xinhuo system task was completed. 1,000 points were credited, and there was also a T3 Boxer class interstellar missile ship blueprint. Feng Mo needs to build one more starship. The road to becoming stronger is really a long way to go. Time slipped away quietly like running water. Half a year had passed in a blink of an eye. During this half year, Feng Mo did not do anything, but concentrated on developing his territory on Storm Star. After destroying the Flame Thieves, Feng Mo signed a contract with the Elves and the Bisi in the Star Network space as promised, and decided the mining and distribution mode of the P459 resource planet according to the distribution method discussed at the beginning. After that, Feng Mo dispatched the Mellow Sisters to occupy the 13 resource planets that had previously belonged to the Flame Thieves, and sent 12 T2 Black Bears and 1 T3 Blade Mantis to be stationed on the resource planets. During this half year, the fleet gradually expanded. Alyssa first used the old interstellar dock on Storm Star to build 4 T3 Bronze Hammer class interstellar industrial ships. Then Feng Mo dispatched a group of starship engineering talents from the main star of Xianyun to settle on T3 Bronze Hammer. It took nearly 5 months, and the 4 T3 Copper Hammers and the old interstellar dock on Storm Star built a total of 50 T3 Zircon-class interstellar mechas. 1 T3 Sea Lion-class interstellar aircraft carrier. 4 T3 Blade Mantis-class interstellar destroyers. 3 T3 Copper Hammer-class interstellar industrial ships. 20 T2 Black Bear-class interstellar frigates. 10 T3 Reindeer-class interstellar carriers. 2 T3 Boxer-class interstellar missile ships. After the fleet was expanded, it officially became a small mixed fleet with 2 flagships. Now the Storm Fleet has 1 Storm flagship, 1 T3 Sea Lion flagship, 2 T3 Boxers, 8 T3 Blade Mantises, 32 T2 Black Bears, 60 T3 Zircons, 4 T3 Copper Hammers, and 10 T3 Reindeers. A total of 58 interstellar battleships and 60 interstellar mechas. If you want to do your work well, you must first sharpen your tools. After each of these starships is built, Feng Mo will personally participate in the sea trial to ensure that everything is foolproof. The fleet has expanded, and the corresponding crew members also need to be expanded. Feng Mo launched a comprehensive examination in Storm Star, referred to as the Star Examination, and selected nearly 10,000 people to serve as trainee crew members. More than 5,000 crew members were transferred from the main star of Xianyun, and then 7,000 crew members were purchased from the slave market. Feng Mo also adjusted the personnel structure of the Storm Fleet. Elplan became the captain and deputy commander of T3 Sea Lion, responsible for interstellar operations. Alyssa became the captain of T3 Copper Hammer and captain of the industrial fleet. Huacan became the captain of T3 Blade Mantis and captain of the destroyer fleet. Celia became the captain of T3 Boxer. The Mellow Sisters became the captain of T2 Black Bear and captain and deputy captain of the escort fleet. The remaining Li Kalezi sisters became secretaries of the Storm Fleet, serving Feng Mo exclusively. Then Feng Mo divided the entire Storm Fleet into 2 teams, referred to as Storm Team 1 and Team 2. Storm Team 1 is the flagship of Storm, while Team 2 is the flagship of Sea Lion. The 2 teams are composed of 1 T3 Boxer, 4 T3 Mantis, 16 T2 Black Bear, and 30 T3 Zircon Mecha. After 6 months of busy work, Feng Mo has become more calm and capable, and he has a sense of majesty sitting in his office chair. Star Network Space. Feng Mo came to a building, which is the registration office of the Yunshan Empire. Feng Mo came here to register the 14 planets under the command of the Storm Fleet in exchange for military merits and promotion to the title. This is the obsession of the 3 generations of the Feng family, and it must be completed in his hands. In the Star Network Space, you can change your clothes at will. Today, Feng Mo is wearing aristocratic clothes, with a badge representing the Viscount of the Yunshan Empire on his chest. and a jade card representing the identity of the patriarch of the Feng family hanging around his waist. When Feng Mo walked into the registration office, he just came to the front desk when a beautiful receptionist came forward and bowed and said, "Good morning, Viscount Feng Mo. What do you need to do this time?" "Do you know me?" Feng Mo showed a curious expression. The beautiful woman smiled and said, "Recognizing a big shot like you is the basic job of our staff to serve you. You can call the staff here casually and they can recognize you." Feng Mo understood and could only say that he was professional. Presumably, these staff members have remembered all the high-ranking military officials, imperial nobles and powerful chaebols of the empire. "I am here to register a life planet, 13 resource planets, and also need to name the galaxy." Feng Mo did not unify the Storm Galaxy, but he needed the naming right, which was very important, just like occupying the righteousness in ancient wars. "Okay, please follow me, Viscount Feng Mo." After the beautiful receptionist finished speaking, she led Feng Mo to an office. The office was decorated very simply, low-key and not luxurious, which was the working style of the entire Yunshan Empire. After the two entered the office and sat down, a holographic screen appeared in front of Feng Mo, with a dialog box asking him to enter the galaxy coordinates and the planet coordinates. After Feng Mo entered the coordinates, the beautiful receptionist clicked a few options, and then a dialog box appeared. "Please, name the target galaxy." Feng Mo entered the Storm Galaxy. "Please, name the target planet." Feng Mo named the life planet Storm Star, and the 13 resource planets FM001 to FM013 resource planets. This naming looks neat and easy to remember, and the territory of the Xianyun Galaxy is the same, except that it starts with F and the Storm Galaxy starts with FM. In between, some information verification and other materials of the life planet and resource planet need to be provided, and people from the Imperial Office will go to review it later, so I won't go into details here. There is one very bad thing about registering a planet in the Empire, that is, you need to pay taxes, which can also be called protection fees. This is not a one-time payment, but a long-term one. Thank you for the monthly tickets and rewards from the book friends, thank you. Guy Zuziolan waiting for Lily Thunderpig Glasses book friends 202209301451168119 TTWDNGF book friends 1502142334462223 nickname 1232 book friends 201703210917312663 Molanxi book friends 202206292249333836 Yushin Zhengfeng book friends 2022081709281552 book friends 1309192033313464 Skyrealm Star Seed Lord we are all wanderers Starry Oracle Tushanzi Oil Chapter 46 T4 Stargate. Among them, live planets need to pay 20% of all net profits of the year, and resource planets need to pay 10% of all net profits of the year. If the tax is overdue for 10 years, the Empire will cancel the naming of the planet, cancel the naming of the galaxy, revoke the right to use the Stargate, and there will be professional inspection departments to talk to you and other measures. Don't underestimate the inspection department. The fleets they are usually equipped with are all T4 level, and they can even apply for T5 fleets to go on missions at critical times. If you can't beat them, just pay taxes honestly. After everything is done, a red text appears on the holographic screen. Viscount Feng Mo has expanded the territory of the Empire and expanded the Storm Galaxy to 14 planets, with a special military merit of 49,000. 1. Life planet has 10,000 military merits. 13 resource planets have 39,000 military merits, plus Feng Mo's more than 10,000 military merits in the front line for half a year. The military merits of the Viscount to be promoted to Earl have exceeded half. If he works harder and takes the entire Storm Galaxy, he can be promoted to Earl. Apply to install a T4 Stargate on Storm Star in the name of the Viscount. Stargates are strategic items that the Federation and even the major empires will never give to individuals. This thing is like the front door of a house, who can give the key to the front door to anyone casually. The application has been received and is awaiting verification. It takes more than a few months to build a Stargate. The construction time of a general T4 Stargate is 3 years, and that of a T3 Stargate is 1 year. As for the T5 Stargate, there is only one in the entire Federation, which is in the central region and is jointly managed by Tanki and Huaiyao. Feng Mo can only apply for a T4 level Stargate at most, which needs to be reported to the Imperial Conference for discussion. However, as long as it can be discussed at the meeting, Feng Mo is confident that it can be passed. Because Feng Mo is no longer in school now, it is time to pick up the Feng family's network of contacts again. Moreover, Feng Mo had communicated with Lao Wang some time ago. The Wang family split the shares of the Starship Trading Company into 6 parts, and the Wang family only held one of them. Of course, it is still held by the Wang family on behalf of the company. This matter was agreed by Feng Mo. One of the remaining 5 copies belonged to Feng Mo's uncle Gu, a lieutenant general of the Empire in his 60s, a rising star. Human relationships will eventually run out, but interests can connect people. While Feng Mo was registering the planet, the people in the Storm Galaxy were not idle either. Huaqian had visited the elves many times in the past 6 months, and was a Feng Mo publicity ambassador. Huaqian, who was also an elf, was like a fish in water in the elves. In comparison, it was difficult to contact the Bisi tribe, and only the half-orc sisters Mello, who had a relatively hot temper, were more popular. The reason for doing this was that Feng Mo recently asked Taylor to release a gust of east wind, saying that the Storm Galaxy was about to build a T4 Stargate, and there were multiple resource planets in the galaxy that produced special mineral materials for building T4 starships. As mentioned earlier, the U1 to U5 galaxies have been occupied by interstellar explorers for more than 80%. And it was time for them to explore the Storm Galaxy. The influx of a large number of explorers and adventurers means intense friction. These people are not easy to deal with, and there are many ruthless people with T3 fleets among them. Some adventurers go to more distant galaxies for adventure, and some dominate unknown galaxies. What attracts them is the east wind blown by Feng Mo. In fact, there is only one planet, P459, in the entire Storm Galaxy that contains special mineral materials for building T4 starships. The reason for blowing multiple planets is to make the entire storm information chaotic, so that you can fish in the muddy water. Feng Mo does not want to take the initiative to start a war, nor does he want to fight the fleets of the 2 tribes alone. He just wants to take advantage. In fact, Feng Mo was also surprised when he knew about this, because the Storm Galaxy is not big. In the Yunshan Empire, the Xianyun Galaxy is the smallest of the 5 major galaxies and belongs to a medium-sized galaxy. But the Storm Galaxy is smaller than the Xianyun Galaxy. It is estimated that the auditors of the Empire will assess it as a small galaxy after investigation. And the appearance of a T4 level resource planet in a small galaxy is already big news in the entire Federation. Not to mention that Feng Mo has passed on multiple east winds. Even in the Xianyun Galaxy, there are only 3 T4 resource planets, one of which once belonged to the Feng family. But Feng Mo's parents half sold and half gave it to an old friend, because this T4 resource planet could not be left to Feng Mo, otherwise it would be a waste of money. Half sold and half gave also gained a lot of support. At least Feng Mo has lived safely until now. And of course there are many invisible benefits. An intuitive data can understand the rarity of T4 resource planets. Feng Mo controls a total of 5 resource planets in the Xianyun Galaxy, all of which are T2 level. After coming to the Storm Galaxy, he occupied 13 resource planets, only one of which is T3 level, and the remaining 12 are all T2 level. After exiting the Star Network space, Feng Mo instructed Li Kalezai, who was waiting on the side, let the first and second teams conduct interstellar patrols in rotation, and then order 13 sets of T2 level planetary defense systems from the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce. They must be installed within 7 days. Remind the military that the Storm Galaxy has been restless recently, so pay more attention to collecting intelligence. Then, the Storm Galaxy completely became a paradise for adventurers, and the Yunjian starport under the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce made a lot of money. The arrival of a large number of external adventurer fleets means the beginning of disputes. Some of them fought fiercely because of an undiscovered resource planet, and some were secretly happy because of the discovery of the elves. I don't know what they are plotting. However, there are starships coming to investigate outside the resource planet P459 every day. They never approach the planet, but just watch from afar. This behavior completely angered the Bisi tribe, and they specially sent a fleet to garrison the resource planet P459. Faced with so many adventurers, even the elves, who love peace, were impatient with the harassment, and the united Bisi tribe tried to join forces with Feng Mo to attack the adventurers many times. But Feng Mo never gave clear information and kept silent about everything that happened. The storm is coming. Unlike the Storm Galaxy that is about to be in chaos, Yunshan, Apocalypse, and Huaiyao Empire at this time, a company called Fenian Starship Trading Company has been in the limelight recently. Not only did it merge the two popular starships T2 Zebra and T2 Black Bear, but it also launched three popular starships, T2 Crocodile class interstellar battleship, T2 Hawkeye class interstellar industrial ship, and T2 Fire Ant class interstellar aircraft carrier. What's more, there are starship testers who conduct live evaluations of these 5 starships. The data given is at least 20% higher than the performance of T2 starships produced by ordinary companies, and the price is the same. As soon as they were launched, they were snapped up by many citizens. There are 5 starships in total, and each one is a hit. Now they are sought after by many citizens in the 3 empires, and there is a drive to radiate to the surrounding empires. The 3 daughters of Chu Yunjian took advantage of this opportunity to expand the production line and lower production costs. A steady stream of star coins poured into Feng Mo's account like water. In just half a year, Feng Mo paid off the 10 million star coins owed to the company, and there were still hundreds of thousands of star coins left. Feng Mo only holds 30% of the company's shares, which means that Fenian Starship Trading Company, which only relies on 5 starships, has achieved a net profit of more than 33 million star coins and more than 3 billion Yunshan coins in just half a year. This horrific profit shocked the upper realms, and many forces could not help but pound their chests, wondering why they did not know how to make friends with this genius starship designer. Now that the Chu family and the Yu family have taken the lead, many people may not be able to sleep tonight as they see them making money like water. Chapter 47 Provocation. Since ancient times, there has never been a lack of licking dogs around goddesses. The generation of the Kiao family in the Apocalypse Empire has a pair of twins. Because they look the same and have telepathy with each other, they are quite talented in starship command. The 2 girls are the commanders of the Empire's T4 fleet at a young age and are called Kiao by the outside world. Home twins. Young, beautiful, twins, and telepathic, the buffs are stacked up, so naturally there is no shortage of wealthy people seeking marriage. Snow Eagle Empire. The Bei family, a Marquis family, is quite powerful in the Snow Eagle Empire. Bei Mulai, the second young master of the direct lineage of the Bei family, is the loyal licking dog of the Kiao family's twins. Today, an uninvited guest came to the main planet Feng Mo. Sitting opposite Feng Mo in the base office, it was Bei Mulai, the second young master of the Bei family of the Snow Eagle Empire. At this time, second young master Bei looked at Feng Mo with a livid face. His eyes seemed to be able to spit out flames. The reason is that because of today's unannounced visit, the escort fleet was warned by the planet's defense system before it arrived at the Storm Prime. The second young man of the Bei family was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and had a rather lawless personality. He ignored the warning and directly ordered to continue sailing. As a result, the T3 level planetary defense system and the remaining storm team did not show any martial ethics and opened fire without saying a word. If the star shields of the 8 T3 starships in the fleet were not fully charged, and he revealed his identity in the end, I am afraid that his escort fleet would have lost at least a few T3 starships. This scene really shocked Bei Mulai, You must know that his escort fleet of the Bei family is also ranked among the fleets kept by the nobles of the entire empire. But whether it was the defense system of Storm Prime or the T-3 starships of Storm Team 1, second young Master Bei put away his pride. What's more important is that he, the second young man of the Bei family, was not surrounded by everyone during that trip. Now he is sitting alone in the office, not even allowed to have bodyguards. He is really angry. Feng Mo was even more displeased at this moment. You, second young Master Bei, can just lord it over your own little piece of land, but you want to force your way into my Storm Prime without even saying hello. What are you going to do? Don't you even want to say hello in advance? This clearly didn't take Feng Mo seriously. Since second young Master Bei entered the office, Feng Mo hadn't said a word, and his sharp eyes with a hint of murderous intent were staring at Bei Mulai in front of him. Perhaps unable to resist Feng Mo's murderous intent, Bei Mulai pretended to be thirsty, picked up the teacup and took a sip, then put it down and said, "Viscount Feng Mo, it's disrespectful to come here for a visit today. I came here to ask if any Starship Trading Company still lacks shareholders. My Bei family is also a powerful force in the Snow Eagle Empire. If the Bei family can help, we can help your company open up the starship trade market in the Snow Eagle Empire. This is a big piece of cake. I don't want much. I just want the 25% of the shares I have." Bei Mulai looked dandy, but in reality there was cunning in his eyes. Feng Mo didn't know his purpose. It wasn't about buying shares. It seemed like he was deliberately irritating him. "Young Master Bei is joking. I am only a small shareholder in Fenian Starship Trading Company. Dan Qiuezi and Huai Yao Chu family are the major shareholders. Without the consent of these two families, Feng Mo would not dare to sell shares without permission." After Feng Mo finished speaking, he picked up the teacup without drinking. His intention to see off the guests was very obvious. Just as Luko was about to take action, Bei Mulai said, "Don't be in a hurry to see off the guests yet. It seems that the Stargate has not yet been built in the Storm Galaxy. It is also very close to the Snow Eagle Empire. 25% of the shares is not much. It will give you peace of mind. What do you think, Viscount Feng Mo?" Bei Mulai said the last four words very hard, and Feng Mo seemed to understand what he meant. He had heard about the second young master of the Bei family and the twins of the Qiao family before they joined forces, and he completely understood. It turned out that this person came to vent his anger for the goddess, or that he thought that he could get the shares from Feng Mo and give them to the Qiao family in exchange for the sincerity of the two sisters. It was intentional to provoke Feng Mo in advance, to create a conflict, so he simply let Mr. Bei get his wish. "Lexi, tell Uncle Tanya to come over, and tell Al by the way, don't let such mentally retarded people in the future. They will be blasted to death in the universe." "Yes." Lacey responded and walked out of the office. Luka on the side held a dagger at her waist with both hands. As long as Bei Mulai made any change, she guaranteed that the two daggers would be inserted into Bei Mulai's throat as soon as possible. A minute later, Feng Tanya led the mecha team into the office with neat steps, saluted Feng Mo slightly. "Sir." Feng Mo nodded and said, "Uncle Tanya, you personally throw the second young master of the Bei family to the starport, and at the same time inform Al that if there is any change in the Bei family fleet, they will not have to leave. There is still a shortage of labor to build the city." Woolen cloth. As soon as Feng Mo said these words, the cunningness in Bei Mulai's eyes disappeared, replaced by deep resentment. No one had ever been able to humiliate him like this. Besides, he represents the face of the Bei family. Could it be that Feng Mo wants to fall out with the Bei family and fight against the Bei family and the Snow Eagle Empire? This is really presumptuous. The furious Bei Mulai couldn't help but stand up, slap the table and point at Feng Mo. Said, "How dare you, a little Imperial Viscount, offend the Bei family of the Snow Eagle Empire here, believe it or not." "I don't believe it." Before Bei Mulai could finish speaking, Feng Mo interrupted. At this time, Bei Mulai couldn't say anything else, because Feng Tanya grabbed him by the neck and picked him up. Feng Tanya nodded to Feng Mo and walked out of the office while holding Bei Mulai, who was blushing. In order to prevent Bei Mulai from speaking again, Feng Mo took out an iron mouth from his combat uniform with his right hand and stuffed it on him. At this time, Mo was extremely miserable and could only make slight hesitant sounds. Now he really wanted to die. This matter was just a small episode for Feng Mo. There were many things to deal with in the development of the galaxy, and he had to seek the elves and the 2 tribes of Bixi, so he really had no time to play house with Mo. Besides, he was not qualified to play with Mo. If he wanted to play, he would compete with his father. After a while, Feng Mo knocked on the door and came in, whispering, "Sir, the matter is done, but that kid clamored to make you look bad before leaving. I don't think he is a person who will give up easily, and I am afraid there will be waves." Feng Mo agreed with Feng Mo's words. Mo was not a good person either. Looking at his personality, you can tell that he must be good at making trouble behind the scenes. "Well, Luca, you go in for Mal, and ask her to keep a close eye on Mo through the intelligence system of the Yunjian Chamber of Commerce, and also increase the number of fleet cruises." "Yes." After watching the 2 walk out of the office, Feng Mo was still a little worried, so he opened the smart terminal to send a message to Yu Xiaoming, asking her to give him a copy of all the information about the Qiao family and the Bei family of the Snow Eagle. At this time, outside the Storm Star, Mo was whipping a strange creature with a whip, and cursing Feng Mo fiercely. Until he was tired, he handed the whip to the adjutant beside him and said, "The fleet will not return, but will directly change its route to the resource planet FMO01. Feng Mo must not have thought that I would give him a surprise attack. This anger must be vented. If I can't hit Feng Mo, I will disgust him to death." Chapter 48 Rage. Resource planet FMO01. Since being taken over by Feng Mo, the standard of living here has skyrocketed, from 1 meal a day to 3 meals a day now, and they can still eat enough. The most important thing is that they are paid. The supervisors are not like those bandits and robbers in the past who killed people at every turn. Instead, they speak very politely, as long as they don't violate the rules, of course. This made these absentees feel grateful and work harder. The mining volume actually increased instead of falling, which was a surprise. Subsequently, Feng Mo asked Alyssa to modify and design a large number of intelligent mining equipment, gradually replacing the original old equipment, making it easier to work without work. Beep 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 alarm. Everyone should take shelter or go to a nearby air raid shelter. A siren sounded, and tens of millions of absentees, led by supervisors, ran into the nearest air raid shelter. There were also some brave ones who stayed in place to hide. Zhu Qiang was the brave one. At this time, he was hiding in a pothole where he usually rested. He did not run away when he heard the siren. There were 3 co-workers with him. "Old Zhu, why do you think the alarm went off? Could it be that the gang of thieves came back again? I don't want to live the same life without enough food and clothing." The worker next to Zhu Qiang said. "Who knows, but it's probably not a group of thieves. I remember that the supervisor had publicized before that the Flame Thieves group had been eliminated by the Viscount." Zhu Qiang said. "I do know some news. Do you remember that the supervisors organized many protective drills during this period? I overheard them saying during lunch a few days ago that our galaxy is not peaceful recently. Maybe there are some thieves who don't want to still alive." Another worker next to Zhu Qiang said proudly. "Old Yang, why do you say you don't want to live anymore?" Zhu Qiang asked again. "Old Zhu, think about it. Is the Viscount strong? There is no way that some thieves can offend him. That's a move on Tai Sui's head. Anyone who teases the tiger's beard must die. Just watch. They can't conquer this planet." Maybe this old Yang was right. Mo really didn't defeat him, but he made an even more damaging move and bombarded the FMO01 resource planet. Storm Prime. Al pushed the door open and entered the office. He was hesitant to speak while looking at Feng Mo, who was working. Though Galaxy sisters on the side were a little curious, Commander Al always acted vigorously and resolutely, so why was he so timid today? "Sir, Commander, Al is not doing things well, please punish him." After hearing this, Feng Mo raised his head and looked at Al with a sinister look on his face. and felt a chill in his heart. He had never seen Al who was so angry to such an extent, but he asked calmly, "If you want me to punish you, you have to explain why, right?" "Sir, Commander, Bai-Muli's fleet made a sneak attack on the resource planet FM001, destroying 1/5 of the planet's defense system. They even conducted a strafing attack when Storm Team 1 was about to arrive, and then escaped." After hearing this, Feng Mo, who was browsing the Bai family's information, paused, turned to look at Al and said, "Are there any casualties? How many?" "The stationed troops, supervisors, and absenteeism casualties are being counted. The preliminary estimate is that the number is in the hundreds of thousands, only a lot more. Please punish the commander." "Haha, why punish you? Let others feel the feeling of hundreds of thousands of people dying. I don't know if the Bai family has a population of hundreds of thousands." "Al, take Sister Lacolacy to the starport to prepare. The storm fleet is assembled, equipped with enough energy and ammunition, and is ready to set sail." "Yes." Al responded and turned around to leave with the two sisters. Feng Mo opened the smart terminal, entered the Star Network space, opened a luxury box, and extended invitations to some people. Feng Mo waited patiently while making tea. As time passed, 7 people, 2 women and 1 man, appeared in the box. Seeing that everyone had arrived, Feng Mo didn't waste any time and directly recounted what happened just now. "The Yunshan fleet can assemble at any time, and I, an old man like me, can also go out for a walk, which is good." The speaker was sitting in the first seat on the left, a young man wearing the uniform of a lieutenant general, but his aura of a man of power was as calm as an abyss, making it invisible. This man is Gu Jun, Lieutenant General Gu, and Uncle Gu as Feng Mo calls him. He is currently his biggest backer in the Yunshan Empire. As mentioned before, the Yunshan Empire has 3 T5 fleets, including Lion King, Moyu and Yunshan. This Uncle Gu is the supreme commander of the Yunshan fleet. He can mobilize the Yunshan fleet without reporting to anyone, but he usually does not do so. The Mo fleet can also take action for you unconditionally. This is the affirmation given by Grandpa. "Will you take me over to have fun this time?" The second person to speak was Yuziamon. Feng Mo couldn't help but feel a little scared after hearing their words. As expected, there was still a big gap between him and these big guys. If these 2 fleets are used this time to overwhelm the Snow Eagle Empire and wipe out the entire Bai family, the backlash afterwards will be very strong, and even many big bosses may not be able to protect him. However, when Feng Mo heard what Gu Jun and Yuziamon said just now, he really had the urge to send out 2 T5 fleets to directly destroy the Bai family. This may mean that he is armed with sharp weapons and has a murderous intention. There is no need to go into such a big fight. Firstly, I need Uncle Gu, Xiaoming and the family behind Yunjian to put pressure on the Snow Eagle Empire. This matter can be kept within my personal grudge with the Bai family. Second, the Bai family has a complete T4 fleet. I hope to let this fleet perform temporary tasks for the Xinghai Human Federation. Third, Yunjian, help me check where Bai-Muli is now? Gu Jun nodded after hearing this, with some relief in his eyes. The child has grown up and has more things to consider. It is best to solve personal grudges privately and not to escalate to the level of the Empire. Because there is also the Xinghai Human Federation above the empires. There will not and will never be a big fight between the empires. This is the bottom line. As long as Feng Mo does not touch this bottom line in the future, Gu Jun can guarantee that he will not be threatened in any way. Let me put pressure on the Snow Eagle Empire. In addition, I will issue a statement later that the Yunshan fleet will go to the Chaos Star Sea to perform a secret mission for 7 days. Feng Mo heard what Uncle Gu meant. It is not enough to just put pressure on it. There must be a certain amount of military deterrence, and of course there must be an excuse on the surface. And as a border empire, the Snow Eagle Empire only has a T5 fleet, which is far less powerful than the Apocalypse, Huaiyao, Yunshan and other empires. One-on-one, the Yunshan fleet is enough to shock the Snow Eagle Empire. Well, the Snow Eagle Empire will be handed over to Uncle Gu. As for the matter of sending away the T4 fleet of the Bai family, Let the Chu family and the Yu family do it. After all, the headquarters of the Federation is in the central part, and it is easy to do things with close ministers. As for the whereabouts of Bai Mulai, the dead licker, I will let my assistant contact you. Chu Yun said indirectly. This location solved the things Feng Mo needed. This is the benefit of having a strong network of people. Of course, you have to be tough yourself. Then, Feng Mo would like to thank you all for your help. Feng Mo will take his leave first. After the matter was resolved, Feng Mo exited the Star Network space, put on his combat uniform, and drove towards the starport in a flying car. He already had a complete plan in his mind. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49, Capturing Bai Mulai Alive. On the speed car, Feng Mo just turned on the smart terminal, and a text message from Chu Yunjian came immediately. Feng Mo took a closer look and realized that Bai Mulai was very brave. Others were playing tricks at Yunjian's starport. This kid had just finished a sneak attack on his FMO01 resource planet, and then turned around and went to the Yunjian starport to get comfortable. He was really not afraid of doing something to him. Al, start the warp engine and target the starport among the clouds. Taiwan, NovelNetwork.com. Yes, Commander. The Stormfleet entered the intelligent co-frequency warp speed navigation and arrived at the Yunjian starport in less than 2 hours. After Feng Mo led Al and Feng Tanya to land, the receptionist at the starport was waiting early. After seeing Feng Mo, he came up and saluted and said, "Welcome Viscount Feng Mo to Yunjian starport. The lady has already given instructions, and I will lead the way for Lord Viscount." "Thank you," Feng Mo nodded, and then everyone followed the receptionist and took the maglev train to a splendid 5-story building. Zhangxiang Pavilion, what a name! Feng Mo looked at the plaque hanging on the building and praised. "Your Majesty, I send you here right now." Bai Mulai is having fun in the Tanzi #1 box on the 4th floor of the Zhangxiang Pavilion. There are 2 third-level genetic warrior bodyguards guarding the door. Feng Mo nodded and took Al and Feng Tanya to the 4th floor. This building has 5 floors and has the same structure as an ancient brothel. In the middle of the 1st floor is a large stage with beauties dancing on it. The largest room on the 4th floor is Tanzi #1 box. When Feng Mo came here, he was stopped by 2 middle-aged men in combat uniforms. These 2 bodyguards were veterans of the military and were responsible for special protection. Bai Mulai's safety. Al and Feng Tanya are also level 3 genetic warriors. It is not difficult to deal with them. It will take some time to win over these 2 people. Feng Mo took the opportunity to kick open the door, and the T3 black brilliant fighting armor automatically appeared on his body, like a black warrior. After entering the box, there is a hall, and the sound of warblers and swallows can be heard from behind the hall. This kid really knows how to play. Feng Mo cursed secretly, and after walking around the main room, he saw Bai Mulai, the second young master, doing indescribable things on a big bed. Feng Mo smiled when he saw this. He raised his hand and the memory metal transformed into a sword. He held the sword and patted Bai Mulai's back. "Don't make trouble." Second young master Bai ignored Feng Mo, shook his shoulders and said, and then continued to work. Feng Mo saw this and patted him twice more. Second young master Bai's body stiffened instantly and he looked behind him. When he saw a suit of black armor, he was obviously frightened. He jumped and collapsed directly on the big bed. The woman below him also saw this scene, couldn't help but screamed, and then suddenly covered her mouth, not daring to make a sound. Feng Mo nodded. This woman was quite smart. She picked up the sword and pointed it sharply at Bai Mulai's brother. When the sword fell, the brother fell to the ground and his blood spilled on the big bed. Bai Mulai roared in a low voice. A large amount of sweat appeared on his body surface, and he kept struggling on the bed. Because he was a second-level genetic warrior, his physical fitness was excellent and he was not unconscious, which further aggravated his pain. Hey, isn't this second young Master Bei? Why did it become like this? Does it hurt? Feng Mo laughed out loud, then took out the hemostatic agent from his combat uniform, sprayed it on Bei Mulai's injury to stop the bleeding, then grabbed his neck and picked him up. When Feng Mo carried Bei Mulai back to the door, he saw that the two bodyguards had been beaten and collapsed on the ground. Looking at the two people who were still struggling to get up, Feng Mo pulled out his laser gun and ended their lives with one blow. Feng Mo didn't have any discomfort with killing people. If he wanted to blame them, it would be because they were with the wrong master, otherwise they wouldn't have died. A group of 3 people carried one person out of the hidden fragrance pavilion, and then took the maglev train back to the starport. After returning to the bridge, Feng Mo said to the adjutant, inform T3 Dao Mantis to go to starport number 3 and destroy all of Bei Mulai's guard fleet, and then gather together to prepare to go to the Windmill Galaxy. The Snow Eagle Empire is a small border country of the Starsea Human Federation. It is considered the weakest among the 17 empires of the Federation. The entire empire only has 2, 1 and 3 galaxies, namely, Auckland Galaxy, Snow Eagle Galaxy and Windmill Galaxy. The headquarters of the Bei family is on a level 3 life planet in the Windmill Galaxy. The entire planet is the territory of the Bei family, including the nearly 20 billion citizens on the planet who have to pay taxes to the Bei family. While Feng Mo was heading to the Windmill Galaxy, Gu Jun and Chu Yunjian were not idle either. First, there was a transfer order from the Federation, which transferred the Bei family fleet to assist the military in keeping secrets. Then Gu Jun announced to the public that the Yunshan fleet was officially heading to the Chaos Star Sea to perform a confidential mission. He swaggered and drove the Yunshan fleet directly to the Windmill Galaxy, and put the Stargate under temporary military control. At this time, Gu Jun was sitting on the captain's chair. There was a video window on the main console in front of him. Opposite him was an old man, wearing a Duke's aristocratic uniform, asking kindly, "May I ask Lieutenant General Gu whether he is here to carry out a mission?" "No wonder the Archduke opposite asked so. How could the Stargate of a galaxy be sealed off as soon as the mission came?" In response, Gu Jun just looked at the old Duke opposite and said, "There is no comment for the federal secret mission." "Please forgive me, the old Duke. I have submitted the mission information to the Snow Eagle Empire Council and obtained the Council's approval. I believe the old Duke will receive the notification later." The old Duke was a little unhappy when he heard this. "How could I not know the content of the parliamentary deliberations? How could I not know that you came to support a genius starship designer named Feng Mo this time?" He knew everything. The reason he asked this question was actually to test whether there was room for using this matter. If there was, he was willing to be a peacemaker. But after hearing what Gu Jun said, the old Duke understood that there was no need to ease this matter. He didn't want to lose face again when he was old. "General, it is understandable that the Yunshan fleet carried out the federal confidentiality mission. But don't forget that the head of the Bei family is the Marquis of the Snow Eagle Empire. Don't do things so drastically that it will end in a mess. Since soft tactics don't work, they can only use hard tactics. They all know the cause and effect of this matter, and they also know that it was Bei Mulai who provoked without reason and even attacked Feng Mo's resource planet. But so what? It's just a few defensive weapons and hundreds of thousands of civilian lives. How much is it worth? At most, I can just pay some star coins and let Bei Mulai, the junior, apologize sincerely. I have given you enough face and substance. What else can you say?" But Gu Jun just doesn't buy it. "Old Duke, I still say that this time the Yunshan fleet is carrying out the Federation's confidentiality mission. Please do not affect the normal execution of the fleet by the Snow Eagle Empire, otherwise it will be regarded as a declaration of war on the Federation." Gu Jun is a person who is tougher than you. He is not soft or hard. The talks here have completely collapsed, but Gu Jun's strength is exactly what the old Duke and his people are afraid of. When Feng Mo arrived at the Yunshan Galaxy through the Stargate, the Yunshan fleet had been waiting here for a long time. Yes, I understand, Uncle Gu. If I really can't beat you, I will run to you. Don't worry, I will definitely win. Feng Mo hung up the video and wiped the non-existent sweat from his forehead. It was a video from Uncle Gu just now, and the purpose was to remind him to pay attention to safety, and then remember to run if he can't beat him, etc. A series of caring words. Although Gu Jun looks like a young man on the surface, he is actually over 60 years old and was already an old man in the past. Chapter 50 Artillery Coverage. When the Storm Fleet arrived at the Bei family's main star, more than 500 starships had already been assembled here, most of which were T2 class interstellar battleships, and only about 20% were T3 class. This was because the time was too tight. When the Yunshan fleet blocked the Stargate, the Bei family received the news. At that time, the Bei family's fleet had already gone to other empires to perform tasks. The escort fleets of several caravans in the family were not in the Windmill Galaxy, and now they could not come back at all. They could only temporarily assemble all the starships of the Bei family and its affiliated families to defend the main star. At this time, Bei Mushin, the eldest son of the Bei family, was sitting upright in the captain's chair. He had already understood the cause and effect of this matter. It was indeed the fault of the second brother. The family lacked discipline over him since he was a child, which led to his lawless character. However, in Bei Mushin's heart, he did not think that this matter would be a big problem. With their Bei family's intelligence network, it was not difficult to obtain detailed information about the Storm Fleet. Since the other party wanted to get back at the place, then fight, he did not believe that 500 interstellar battleships could not beat the 57 interstellar battleships on the opposite side. 500 to 57, the advantage was mine. After the other side surrenders, give face to Lieutenant General Gu Jun, and then compensate them with some star coins appropriately. This matter can be turned over. In fact, relying on 500 interstellar battleships and the T3 level planetary defense system on the main star, the chance of winning is very high, but the pride in Bei Dao's heart makes him propose a strategic policy of defending the enemy from outside. It is said that Feng Mo is a genius in starships. Whether it is designing and building starships or fleet command, he is a top-notch master. Bei Dao really doesn't believe it unless he competes with him. Now, the opportunity has come. The formation set up by the opposite side is similar to the three-layer defense formation used by before. Both are circular formations, and frigates form the first line of defense on the outside. Destroyers and battleships form the second line of defense, and the center point is 5 T3 level aircraft carrier starships. Facing this ironclad formation, Feng Mo smiled lightly. Normally, when fleets fight star battles, this defense formation is the most stable, reliable, and the sacrifice is the least. But they were facing the Storm Fleet, a fleet with 2 T3 Boxer-class interstellar missile ships. Coincidentally, this was the first battle of the T3 Boxer since its construction, and it was also good to test the firepower. Al had already issued a strategic deployment at this moment. T2 Black Bear enters the defensive state, ready to intercept the enemy ship attack. T3 Sea Lion launches interstellar drones, and the 2 T3 Boxers 500-unit launch silos are fully opened, and the first round of 1,000 interstellar missiles are ready. Feng Mo and Al went to the place and started fighting directly. They did not communicate with the eldest son of the Bei family, and even rejected the communication request sent by the other side. This time they were determined to establish their prestige, so they should not be affected by the outside world. Launch. With Al's order, the launch silos of the 2 T3 Boxers opened, and interstellar missiles were fired one after another, whistling towards the enemy ships with tail flames. Since the opposite side is the Iron Turtle formation, they can rely on the 2 T3 Boxers to break their hard shells. There is air resistance in the universe, but it is relatively weak and can be ignored. This makes the interstellar missiles with almost no resistance travel at a very fast speed and have an uncertain trajectory, making them difficult to intercept. At this time, Bei Mushin was completely stunned when he saw through the holographic image that the Storm Fleet actually had 2 T3 class interstellar missile ships. This extremely expensive big guy, their Bei family's T4 fleet is only equipped with 1 T3 class interstellar missile ship. This small T3 fleet is actually equipped with 2 ships, How can it be fought? Under the coverage of artillery fire, everything is the truth. Under the truth, is there anyone alive? Let all starship close-in defense guns and secondary guns participate in the interception. After all, the interception rate of missiles is higher than that of lasers. However, Baymushian is a professional fleet commander after all, and he issued the most correct interception order at the first time. After the order was issued, the close-in defense guns and secondary guns of 500 interstellar battleships all locked onto the interstellar missiles launched by the two T-3 Boxers. The laser cannon formed a light net to intercept a large number of interstellar missiles in the universe. Bursts of explosions lit up, but the interception rate was not 100%. The defense formation of 500 interstellar battleships, even without the use of the automatic aiming function, can hit most of the starships under the coverage of artillery fire, not to mention the use of automatic aiming. 8,000 interstellar missiles whizzed past, and lasers crisscrossed the universe. More than 50% of the 1,000 interstellar missiles launched by the T-3 Boxer were intercepted. But the remaining more than 400 missiles have made Baymushian's eyes appear with a touch of fear. Groups of exploding flames illuminated the dark universe, and the flames devoured starships one by one. These more than 400 interstellar missiles focused on the left wing of the enemy fleet. In an instant, most of the starships on the left wing of the enemy fleet lost their energy display on the radar and lost the communication signal with the flagship. Adjutant, don't count casualties. All the main guns of the surviving starships should open fire, targeting the two T-3 missile ships in the enemy fleet. Quickly. This is the most correct way to attack missile ships. This is not the time to count casualties. You must hit the enemy missile ship as quickly as possible, causing it to spontaneously ignite and explode, forming a shock wave, and disrupting the fleet formation, in order to win. At this time, Feng Mo was admiring the results of the two T-3 Boxers. The reason why this type of interstellar missile ship does not exist among mainstream ships is because of its terrifying consumption. A T-1 civilian starship is worth 10 million Yunshan coins, 10,000 star coins, and the conservative cost price of a T-3 interstellar missile is 50,000 Yunshan coins, which means that a T-1 civilian starship can only be exchanged for 20 T-3 interstellar missiles. Just now, 1,000 T-3 interstellar missiles were launched in one round, and the conservative cost price is 50 million Yunshan coins, 500,000 star coins. The two T-3 Boxers have a capacity of 10,000 missiles, which is 500 million Yunshan coins. 500 million Yunshan coins are enough to buy 5 T-4 interstellar frigates. This is why few fleets are equipped with interstellar missile ships. It is too expensive. This is the result of self-construction. If it is sold to the outside world, who can afford it? And the biggest feature of the T-3 Boxer is that the interval between each launch is very short, and even when launching 100 interstellar missiles each time, it can be fired continuously. Facing Baymushian's choice, Al's eyes flashed with appreciation. If it were her, she would choose to do so, and even more decisively. Al would not let the secondary guns intercept the interstellar missiles at all. Once the star shield was opened, the T-3 starships would move forward directly, completely sacrificing all the T-2 starships in exchange for the opportunity to attack. As long as the T-3 missile ships of the enemy fleet were destroyed, the battle would be half won. But Baymushian was not hell after all, and he could not be so decisive, so he missed the opportunity to attack. As expected, 1,000 interstellar missiles roared out again. The attacks of the two fleets collided, and the universe in the middle of the fleets lit up in patches of light. L used the second round of attacks as interceptor missiles, although he could not intercept all of them. The remaining attacks were completely tickling for the Storm Fleet. The remaining 400 interstellar missiles in the second round fell quickly, and after exploding one after another, the terrifying flames engulfed the starships one by one. Then, the third, fourth, and fifth rounds of interstellar missiles followed one after another. Feng Mo spent all his money to establish his prestige this time. More than 200 million Yunshan coins were thrown out like this. And of course the effect was still very good. After 5 rounds of launching 5,000 interstellar missiles, The enemy fleet was directly dispersed. Some were destroyed, some were grounded, and some even turned around and fled. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.